pregame show live from Mesa College in San Diego, California. I'm Brian Vilvin with John Henry Winter Nolte on your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com. Tonight's matchup features the visiting Eastlake Titans against the host St. Augustine Saints. Both Eastlake and St. Augustine come into tonight's matchup with identical 3-1 records. But John Henry, ahead of the game this evening, we're going to have a moment of silence. Both of these schools playing with heavy hearts. Both schools lost a member of their student body this week, so it's going to be hard for these teams to concentrate on football.
Right. I mean, this is something that's been on their minds. Both teams, separate situations, but kind of the same result. Just losing a classmate like that, whether it was your best friend or just someone that you had a class with, but it really affects the whole school, the whole community, and these guys are going to be playing for a little more than just a W tonight.
And when it comes to the action on the field, once we get through all that and it comes to football time, we've got two 3-1 teams with a lot at stake, and both of these teams are among the best in San Diego section. They come into tonight's game, both teams 3-1 with tough losses. Eastlake losing the first game of the year against Helix, another section power, and then St. Augustine losing last week to Otay Ranch after losing their running back to a broken leg in the first quarter and losing their quarterback to a concussion midway through the third quarter. So they had their backs against the wall, almost come back to win that game, but both of these teams very solid on the field.
Yeah, definitely, and Saints having a little bit of extra work to do tonight, like you said, with a couple injuries. We did talk to Coach Sanchez before the game, and JoJo Hudson is cleared to play. He said he may get a couple reps, but most likely we're going to be looking at Thomas Goodridge, who stepped in last game and really had a great game, couple big drives at the end of the fourth quarter, but couldn't quite cap it off.
Yeah, Thomas Goodridge had a very nice fourth quarter, a couple of touchdown passes coming in as just a sophomore and contributing to the Saints' cause, almost coming back to win that game against an undefeated Otay Ranch team. And then for Eastlake, they're coming off of last year losing to St. Augustine on the last play of the game. They led the entire game. They had been dealing with a lot of injuries at that point, but they come into tonight's game just on a roll. They won 42-0 at Scripps Ranch. Then they won 55-27 at Escondido. Last week they won 56-26. They've got an offense that, led by quarterback Ty Stevens and the running of Baltazar and Olave, they've put up huge numbers.
Yeah, and we had the pleasure to watch these guys, like you said, in that matchup last year. And we were saying those same names last year, so it's just going to be exciting to watch this high-powered offense, put up, I wouldn't be surprised, 30, 40, 50 points. Saints defense has got some work to do.
Well, folks, that's going to do it for tonight's PlayOnSports.com pregame show. We'll be back with the kickoff in just a few minutes. Friday Night Football begins next on your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. Oh, we're coming in on 1. For more information on how your school can join the Play On School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/SBP. We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. Oh, we're coming in on 1. For more information on how your school can join the Play On School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/SBP. We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. Oh, we're coming in on 1. For more information on how your school can join the Play On School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/SBP. We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. Oh, we're coming in on 1. For more information on how your school can join the PlayOn School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect.
Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream.
Camera 3.
Beautiful. Oh, we're coming in on 1.
For more information on how your school can join the PlayOn School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect.
Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream.
Camera 3.
Beautiful. Oh, we're coming in on 1.
For more information on how your school can join the PlayOn School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect.
Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream.
Camera 3.
Beautiful. Oh, we're coming in on 1.
For more information on how your school can join the PlayOn School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect.
Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream.
Camera 3.
Beautiful. Oh, we're coming in on 1.
For more information on how your school can join the PlayOn School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect.
Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream.
Camera 3.
Beautiful. Oh, we're coming in on 1.
For more information on how your school can join the PlayOn School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect.
Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream.
Camera 3.
Beautiful. Oh, we're coming in on 1.
For more information on how your school can join the PlayOn School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect.
Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream.
Camera 3.
Beautiful. Oh, we're coming in on 1.
For more information on how your school can join the PlayOn School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect.
Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream.
Camera 3.
Beautiful. Oh, we're coming in on 1.
For more information on how your school can join the PlayOn School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect.
Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream.
Camera 3.
Beautiful. Oh, we're coming in on 1.
For more information on how your school can join the PlayOn School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect.
Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream.
Camera 3.
Beautiful. Oh, we're coming in on 1.
For more information on how your school can join the PlayOn School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. We're coming in on 1.
For more information on how your school can join the PlayOn School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. We're coming in on 1.
For more information on how your school can join the PlayOn School broadcast.
Welcome back to Friday Night Football on PlayOnSports.com. Coming to you live from San Diego, California. I'm Brian Vilvin with John Henry Winter Nolte on your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com. Tonight's matchup features the 3-1 Eastlake Titans visiting the 3-1 St. Augustine Saints. Both teams are on the field getting ready to go. Eastlake won the toss but deferred to the second half. The St. Augustine Saints will receive it, and we'll see the youngsters out on the field right away for the St. Augustine offense. The Eastlake Titans going right to left with the white jerseys, silver helmets, blue and green numbering and trim. The St. Augustine Saints with the purple jerseys, white numbering, and gold helmets. John Henry, this is a battle where St. Augustine is kind of going to be working uphill with a sophomore quarterback, a running back who's been playing defensive back and receiver his entire career, and 2 freshmen behind him.
Yeah, it's a young group out there, but that could go one of 2 ways. They could have the extra energy that they need to lead this team to victory, and the other way is what we don't want to talk about, but we're looking for a good game here tonight.
David Aguiza kicking off for Eastlake, and it's taken by Dominic Morgan about the 5-yard line. He's still on his feet out past the 15 to about the 20-yard line. So the St. Augustine Saints will have 1st and 10 from the 20 as they get started. We're just underway from Mesa College. Brian Vilvin and John Henry Winter Nolte on PlayOnSports.com's coverage of Friday Night Football on a beautiful evening in San Diego. You couldn't ask for better weather for football.
I know, it's beautiful. I think it's a almost full moon tonight, maybe one night off under the lights here. Beautiful weather, and the 2 good-looking teams here. Going to be a great game going on tonight.
Thomas Goodridge under center, the sophomore who came in and looked terrific last week for St. Augustine, replacing the injured JoJo Hudson. And Goodridge is going to throw on 1st down, and he misfires, incomplete, intended for the big fella, Patrick Dixon, the senior tight end, 6'3", and he was the favorite target last week of Tommy Goodridge.
Yeah, we look back to last year and the previous games this year. Patrick Dixon and big Robbie DeCourt, both tight ends here for the Saints. Big, easy targets for the new sophomore quarterback here as he just missed the tight end on that last throw.
We got Ryan Harris and Ethan Sanchez, the 2 backs, or the 2 receivers to either side. Tristan Juarez, the lone back in the backfield. Goodridge is going to hand off to Juarez, going up the middle, looking for space, not finding much. He picks up about 1.5 yards. Tristan Juarez forced into duty at the running back position, replacing Tyler Herberger, who broke his leg on the field last week in the first quarter. Just a very tough injury for the premier back for St. Augustine, and now Tristan Juarez starting his first game at running back for the Saints.
Yeah, when you're an athlete out there, you get asked to play in a little bit of uncomfortable position, but you got to step in, fill those shoes, and play for your team.
3rd down and 8 for St. Augustine. Goodridge under center. He drops back to pass. Looking left, firing left, and it is incomplete, intended for Ryan Harris. Nice defense on the play, Isaiah Olave. And a lot of these Eastlake players play on both sides. Olave, one of the premier backs for the Titans. That time he makes a nice defensive play.
Yeah, great throw there by the quarterback, but Olave coming in, hitting the receiver right on time as he was touching the ball and knocking it free. The Eastlake defense, got to give him some credit there, snuffed out that run. They had 11 hats on the ball, and then they're breaking up the pass.
Ryan Herberger will snap for the Saints. Joe Maloof, the punter, and deep to return for Eastlake, the dangerous Aaron Baltazar. And if you're St. Augustine and Joe Maloof, you want to punt this ball far away from him. They run it along the ground, takes a St. Augustine bounce across midfield and down to about the 48-yard line. So the Maloof punt does its job. No chance for Aaron Baltazar to return one, but Eastlake will have great field position just outside of St. Augustine territory here on their first drive.
And we saw St. Augustine as they were warming up. The punter was kind of kicking those line drive kicks, making sure not to out-punt his coverage team. And I think exactly what you said, keep it away from Baltazar. You don't want that guy to get that ball with any kind of open field because he'll make guys miss. He'll run over your defenders, and you don't want him touching the ball, bottom line.
Ty Stevens under center. He's going to hand it off to Varus Green over the right-hand side. Green still on his feet across midfield down to about the 45 and then some. Tavares Green with a pickup of 8 on first down. It'll bring up 2nd down and 2 for the Titans.
Good strong run there by Green. Saints defense got to do a better job getting 11 hats to the ball. Those gold helmets, they got to find that ball early, and they got to find it often or else Eastlake's going to run all over them all night.
This Eastlake offense has put up 42, 55, and 56 points in their last 3 victories. So a powerful offense indeed. And Aaron Baltazar now has the ball. He's taken off. No one's going to touch Baltazar. Aaron Baltazar with a score, his 10th touchdown of the season. Just getting ready to talk about his prowess, and he breaks one for a touchdown.
Wow. Baltazar there. You can see these Eastlake fans there. It's almost like they're not even surprised. They're used to seeing him do that. He hit that line of scrimmage with a head of steam, had a quick 360 to shake 2 defenders, and it was off to the races, and it really was no contest there. 42 yards for the score, Brian. What a way to start this game for Eastlake.
The extra point is on the way and good by David Aguiza. And the Eastlake Titans lead at 7-0 early on PlayOnSports.com, your destination for high school sports.
Today's game is brought to you by California Printing Consultants, your one-stop printing source for all of your printing needs. Call CPC toll-free at 866-484-4039 or visit their website at www.cpcfirst.net for your next printing projects. Also see CPC on the St. Augustine team page on PlayOnSports.com and click on the CPC icon. Online print buying has never been this easy.
And it didn't take long for the Eastlake Titans to get on the board. 108 seconds into this ball game, they force a 3-and-out and then score on a 44-yard Aaron Baltazar rushing touchdown. So 2 plays, 52 yards, and a score for the Titans. Aguiza will kick off for Eastlake. And the ball still rolling. It goes close to out of bounds. Great job by Dominique Morgan of letting that one go out of bounds. They'll get the ball in favorable field position here. It was a risky one there because if the ball takes a bounce back into the field of play, Morgan's kind of going to be in a tough position there. But instead, the ball will come out to the 35-yard line where St. Augustine will have their best field position of the evening.
And senior Dominic Morgan with a lot of experience for this Saints team, making a wise decision there. I'm sure he was calculating as that ball was bouncing, and of course he knew where it was going. I'm sure he'll tell you, but just barely trickled out of bounds.
Well, Coach McFadden elected to defer to the second half, and that plan seems to have worked as they got a 3-and-out and already have a touchdown not even 2 minutes into this game. 10-12 remaining in the first quarter. Goodridge under center, rolling right, looking that way, and he hits Robert DeCourt. DeCourt makes a man miss, gets out to the 45, has the first down and more across midfield down to the 46-yard line. And John Henry, you talked about it, Patrick Dixon and big Robert DeCourt. DeCourt making some moves there after getting a catch. Run after catch, I like it.
I mean that's what you got to ask your tight end to do. You got to ask him to block 50 to 60% of the time and hold off those linebackers and linemen. And then the rest of the time, you got to ask him to sprint 10 to 15 yards, make a catch, make some guys miss, and get down the field.
Well, he doesn't mind. He'll take those targets all day. The 6'4" senior DeCourt. And the 6'3" Dixon, a couple of big targets at tight end. They used those guys a lot last year with success. Goodrich looking to throw on first down. Throwing deep and over the head of the intended receiver, Morgan. Nice defense being played by Olave, who was stride for stride with Dominic Morgan.
Olave playing some great D there, as you mentioned. And Goodrich, putting that ball right in the position where the receiver can get to it, but he wanted to make sure that Olave had no chance at it. Just barely overthrew the wide receiver there, and maybe he's just kind of settling in, but he's only, I believe, 1 for 4 tonight already early in this game.
2nd down and 10 for St. Augustine, just inside Titan territory at the Eastlake 46. Goodrich has 3 receivers to the far side, a tight end to the near side. He's going to hand it off to Juarez over the left-hand side. Juarez has a couple, cuts back, still on his feet, and has the first down. What a cutback by Tristan Juarez. He saw the hole, and the speedster hit it hard. First down, St. Augustine. Great run.
And Tristan Juarez, he's going to get called a lot tonight. Talking to Coach Sanchez, he's going to be the running back. He's their go-to running back, and you've got a sophomore quarterback and a new running back. You got to ask some guys to make some plays tonight, and so far, Saints is kind of doing that.
13 yards on the scamper for Tristan Juarez. He's the lone back again. We've got 2 receivers to the near side, 1 to the far side. That's Morgan. Dixon at tight end, dropping back to pass, looking for Dixon, and he hits him. Dixon tries to shed 1 tackler, but is gang tackled about the 33-yard line. No gain on the play for the Saints. Eastlake sniffed that one out from the beginning.
And Eastlake doing a great job of wrapping up there on defense and then coming over the top and helping out. Didn't get the defensive back there on coverage, but little outmatched as far as size goes. But he held on, wrapped up, and then waited for his help to come. And that's exactly what you got to do as a defender, wrap up.
And it's a lonely feeling until the help comes when you're going up against the big fella Dixon. But a great job stuffing the Saints for no gain. Bunch formation. The back in the backfield is Elijah Preston. And we've got a false start on St. Augustine. They're going to lose 5 yards.
I think Goodrich, he called for the snap, trying to draw the defense off sides, and I think he head bumped a little bit there, and it's going to cost him 5 yards.
So the 2 freshman running backs that we'll see this evening, Elijah Preston, a 5'5", 175-pounder, and Francois Sims, a 5'11", 210-pounder. So the freshman thunder and lightning for a while here for St. Augustine. When Juarez isn't out on the field, one of those 2 guys will be.
Yep.
2 tight ends, 2 receivers either side. Preston in the backfield. Wide receiver screen wide open. That's Tim Chapman still on his feet. He has a barrage of blockers, and he's going to go into the end zone. Touchdown, St. Augustine on the wide receiver screen to the senior Tim Chapman. And the Saints are an extra point away from tying this. What a response by the St. Augustine offense. Taking the ball right down the field, a 65-yard scoring drive. And that touchdown, 33 yards to Chapman. The extra point on the way and good by Nick Sinclair. And the St. Augustine Saints have tied it at 7 on PlayOnSports.com's coverage of Friday Night Football.
Do you want to watch more of your school's great matchups, like the game you're enjoying here tonight? Tell your school to sign up for the PlayOn Sports School Broadcast Program. The program allows schools to broadcast all of their games and other activities on the web. For more information, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
33 yards on the touchdown reception for Tim Chapman, and that one was designed beautifully. The Eastlake Titans were bringing the house on the blitz, and St. Augustine dialed up the screen. Tim Chapman had a ton of blockers in front of him. It was all purple jerseys and the end zone.
Yep. And Goodrich there, got to give him some credit hanging in there, because he did have 3 or 4 Eastlake defenders barreling in on him as he just kind of dumped the ball right over to number 9, Tim Chapman. And give credit to Chapman there, he was running so quickly and so fat, like he was running very well, but he was running behind his blockers. You could tell he wanted to run faster, but real wise way to figure out the direct route to get to the end zone, and showing some speed in the end to burst past into the zone.
St. Clair will kick off, and this one's going to go out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The dangerous return men, Tavares Green and Isaiah Olave, will not get a chance for Eastlake, so the Titans will start off 1st and 10 from their own 20. A little change of pace from when they started at their own 48 the first drive, so let's see. But it didn't take long for Eastlake to score. They scored in 52 yards in just 2 plays for that scoring touchdown. Let's see what the offense does to respond to St. Augustine.
And Baltazar, whether he was running 30 or 40 or 80 yards on that last run, he was going to the end zone no matter what. So Saints has got to do a better job of containing him.
Stevens is going to hand it off to Baltazar over the right-hand side. Still on his feet, has got the first down and out of bounds across the 30 to the 31, maybe 32-yard line. We'll see where they officially spot it, but a nice run on first down for the back, who coming into today's game had 600 yards rushing and 8 rushing touchdowns to go with a receiving touchdown. He's added to that total, and now he's got double-digit scores on the season. We're not even 5 games in. Man in motion right to left. He's going to get the handoff. It's Olave. Olave breaks 1 tackle and is brought down across the 35. Pickup of 5 on the play. It'll bring up 2nd down and short for the Titans.
Olave showing some quick moves there. It was a good tackle. The second tackle, the first tackle, you gotta wrap up there on the Saints defense. And like we said, wait for your help to come. Doing a good job, but it's got to be done that first time, and they wouldn't have gotten any yards.
Ty Stevens under center. He's got Baltazar. I think we're going to have illegal motion here against the Titans. They had a couple of guys moving when the ball was snapped, and that's going to be a 5-yard penalty. Bring them back to 2nd down and 10.
Just what the Saints need here, 2nd and 10, force a 3rd and 10, and then make Eastlake go for that big play. But Saints needs to stop here, and they need to show Eastlake that they're not going to back down, because that first possession of Eastlake, it was just not good for Saints.
Well, let's see how the front 7 respond for the Saints. Again, 2 men in motion for the Titans. They had Olave going right to left. They had Green going left to right. Both guys kind of stopped in their tracks, but it was too late. The ball had already been snapped. So a little bit of miscommunication. 2 plays in a row for the Titans, something we're not used to seeing.
Now, you don't want to be sloppy out here. This football is a game where if you make mistakes, it's the team that makes the fewest mistakes that usually wins the ball game. And that's 2 in a row there. And now they're in tough position, 2nd and 15 here.
Yeah, 2nd down and 5 turns into 2nd and 15.
Yep.
And we'll see what they go with. 2 receivers to the near side, 1 to the far side. Baltazar the back. And he's going to get it on the draw, still on his feet. Across the 25, brought down Robert DeCourt with the tackle. And that was a sure tackle there. Baltazar wasn't getting out of that one.
And DeCourt, probably one of the only guys on this Saints defense, along with his tight end partner. 1 second. Robert DeCourt and Patrick Dixon also both playing defensive line, and those guys bring the heat, that's for sure.
Stevens under center, 3rd down and 14 for the Titans. And the ball's knocked down again. Robert DeCourt, the big fella, making plays on both sides of the ball. And that is a huge statement by the St. Augustine defense, not allowing Eastlake to get anything going offensively there. The Titans didn't help themselves out with those penalties, but St. Augustine stepping up to the challenge and forcing a punt.
Penalties add up very quickly, and then Robert DeCourt coming making 2 big plays there. That second one, you could see he's a little frustrated. He thought he might have had a chance for a pick 6 there.
Dominic Morgan deep for St. Augustine. Ty Stevens, the quarterback, is also the punter for this Eastlake team. The snap is high, but he gets it. The left footer gets the punt off and is drilled in the backfield. We're going to have roughing the kicker. And the ball takes a St. Augustine bounce to the Eastlake 45-yard line, but hopefully Stevens is okay. He got drilled on that play, and I think we're going to have a personal foul and a 1st down for the Titans.
And it looks like he's going to be all right there. But now he's got to switch over and put his throwing arm back on. He's walking a little slow off the field.
I don't think he realizes that they get a 1st down there. So the offense back out onto the field. The 15-yard penalty will come with a 1st down attached to it. So a huge break for the Titans. And if you're St. Augustine, you can't have a mistake like that after such a good defensive possession, giving the ball back to this prolific Eastlake offense. And that's a mistake that St. Augustine really can't make at this point in the game.
No, they can't afford to do something like that. Just when the momentum's starting to swing your way, you get a quick 3 and out, a couple mistakes by Eastlake, give it right back to them.
6 minutes, 20 seconds remain in the first quarter. Man in motion, pass play right away to Panaligan, still on his feet across the 45 to the 43. Pickup of 14 on the play and a first down for Eastlake. Vince Panaligan, the senior, with the quick reception for the Titans.
And I don't know if that was the play that was called going into the huddle or if Stevens called an audible, but he noticed that Morgan was playing so far off that near side and just quick throw, quick slant, and pickup of 11 yards. Easy.
Stevens back under center. Baltazar, the lone back, man in motion. Handoff Baltazar on the delay across the 40 down to the 36-yard line. Easy enough for me to say there. Pickup of 7 on first down is going to bring up 2nd down and 3 for the Titans.
And you can see when Baltazar runs, he's not one of those dainty runners who's going to dance around tacklers. He puts his head down and he barrels through. His legs never stop moving, it seems like.
The handoff going to go to Green over the right-hand side, still on his feet, but brought down right near the line of scrimmage. Great pursuit by the St. Augustine defense to force a 3rd down here. Looked like Green had an opening, but the St. Augustine defenders, led in there by the defensive captain, Patrick Lovell, coming in first man on the scene and forcing a big 3rd down here for the Titans.
This is one that Saints needs right here to make this big stop after the big mistake and the big penalty. This is one of the biggest plays of the game so far.
3rd down and 3 to go. Handoff left side, Baltazar, and he cannot shed the tackler. Shoestring tackle by the defender, Kyle Daly, and the senior trips up Baltazar short of the first down. 4th down, got to go for it here if you're Eastlake.
I think so. I mean, Baltazar was literally 1 inch away from breaking that one free for at least 10 yards, and a great tackle, but can they do it again? Can the Saints stop Baltazar again right here?
We'll see. 4th down and 5 to go for the Titans. Vince Panaligan brings the play call into Ty Stevens. They're going to have to hurry to get this play off. 4th down and 5 for the Titans. The handoff goes to Baltazar, and he's going to be stuffed short of the first down. Turnover on downs. What an answer from the St. Augustine defense.
St. Augustine defense coming up huge there, and coming up huge twice. You know, that was the second 4th down that Eastlake was given, and the first one was a gift. This one, Saints defense stuffs them, doing a great job, and an even bigger picture kind of story here, making Eastlake, they not be so successful as they were that first one. It was just too easy.
So the last 2 drives stuffed by St. Augustine. 4:35 to play in the first quarter, and the Saints take over on downs. Thomas Goodridge under center. He's got Elijah Preston in the backfield with him. Preston's going to get the carry right up the middle, still on his feet across the 40. And the speedster takes it forward for a gain of about 5.
And Preston, definitely don't want to let him get out of the box, they call it. Don't want to let him get outside on you if you're Eastlake, because he shows such quick speed. If he gets into the open field, Brian, we're going to watch him run for a while.
And we've got Tristan Juarez into the game as well as Elijah Preston. So Preston will stay in the running back spot. Juarez will go out to his usual wide receiver spot, split to the far side. 2 receivers far side, 1 near side. That's Ethan Sanchez. Preston the back. Goodridge looking to throw. They've got the screen set up, and nice decision to throw that one. Looked like he was almost throwing it away. He threw it in the direction of Elijah Preston, but threw it away. He was being bared down on by the Eastlake defenders. Not a whole lot he could have done there.
Yeah, Mason Swauer doing a good job of getting to the quarterback and not letting that screen set up. But you could tell Eastlake kind of saw that the screen was coming. You didn't see the 4 or 5 guys pursuing after the quarterback there. They maintained their coverage, stayed in their positions, and recognized the screen, doing a good job.
3rd down and 5 to go for the Saints. Trips to the left side. Tight end left as well. And Dominic Morgan's going to move over to the near side. The Saints are going to call a timeout, the first timeout of the evening for either squad. Coach Sanchez didn't like something there. He knows he's got a big third down, got to keep the ball out of the hands of the Eastlake offense. 3:51 to play first quarter. We're knotted up at 7 between St. Augustine and Eastlake on PlayOnSports.com, your destination for high school sports.
Play On Sports is on Facebook and Twitter, giving you news and information and links to great highlights. Follow us at Play On Sports on both Facebook and Twitter. You can also access thousands of live and on-demand games at YouTube on youtube.com/PlayOnNetwork. Keep up with all the high school action every week from your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com.
The timeout taken by St. Augustine with 3:51 to play in the first quarter. And John Henry, if you're Coach Sanchez and you know this is such an important play here, what are you dialing up for the Saints offense?
Well, you mentioned that they came out in trips, and it looked like one of the wide receivers was sprinting over to the near side. So there was a little bit of confusion, and I think you're going to go to the air here. You haven't gone to the air too much, been fairly successful with the run, but those tight ends, Dixon and DeCourt, I feel like maybe 89 or 80 is going to get the call.
Well, Patrick Dixon in the game. He's on the tight end spot to the right. Ethan Sanchez, the receiver to the near side, 2 receivers far side, and Juarez in at running back. Trying to go with the hard count. Goodridge dropping back to pass, looking over the far side and completing it to Dominique Morgan. What a catch by Morgan. He was hit immediately, but did a great job holding on. Isaiah Olave right there in coverage, but a perfect throw and catch from the sophomore to the senior.
Great concentration there by the wide receiver, making that play. Morgan, we saw earlier in the game, got hit real hard right as he caught the ball and wasn't able to hold on. He knew that was a big play there, third down. Definitely not going to drop that ball.
3:40 to play in the first quarter. St. Augustine driving. The score tied at 7 between two of the premier teams in the San Diego section. A big game on a Friday night. Handoff up the middle, Juarez. Juarez following some blockers, and he's going to pick up a couple on the play. We'll call it 3. Second down and 7 coming up for St. Augustine. And this is a nice drive for St. Augustine, not only because they're picking up yardage, but they're eating away at that clock and keeping the Eastlake offense off the field.
Yeah, it's a great call, Brian. I mean, that Eastlake offense, it just takes, like we saw earlier, 50 seconds for them to get all the way down to the other side of the field.
Every receiver to the near side, and a sprint that direction by Goodridge, looking over here, and it's going to be intercepted. Picked off at the 35-yard line and out to the 40. That one was intercepted by Jeremy Smith, the senior cornerback for the Titans. And just like that, Eastlake with a big turnover. Perfect position by Smith.
And Jeremy Smith, knowing that that ball was coming to that direction, I mean, we had 4 wide receivers to the near side. We had Goodrich rolling out this way. He really didn't have any other options. And I feel like he just kind of threw that ball up there, hoping one of his guys could make a play. But instead, the defense of Eastlake coming up big turnover. Here we go, Eastlake now.
And the Titans, they like to score quickly. As Stevens hands it off to Baltazar over the right-hand side, he's met by a host of St. Augustine defenders, and he'll pick up about 4 on the play. Second down and 6 coming up for the Titans. Let's see if they can turn the turnover into points. 2:30 to play first quarter. Stevens puts a man in motion. That's Olave. He's going to get the carry over the left-hand side. Nice blocking on the outside, but good pursuit by St. Augustine. A lot of purple jerseys around the ball there. The first man made a good block for Eastlake, but the St. Augustine defenders were all over that one.
Yeah, Saints defense doing a great job of, like you said, pursuit. I mean, that first drive when Eastlake, took it 2 plays into the end zone, it was like it was 11 on 5 or 6. And now it's looking like there's more purple on the field. They're getting around more quickly and making those big plays.
Third down and 4 upcoming for the Titans. Another big third down in this game. Dropping back to pass is Stevens. Looking over the middle, firing, and it's complete to the 25-yard line all the way down to the 20. Joseph Carpizzo, the tight end for Eastlake, with a huge first down reception. Great fake by Stevens, and he put the ball on the money.
Carpizzo there I think he just ran a straight seam right up the middle And Eastlake really hasn't gone too far down the field with the passing game tonight, but they're just catching Saints a little, like biting up on that run, and easy 20, 30 yards for them.
Handoff over the right-hand side, Baltazar. Baltazar across the 20, down to the 15, and out of bounds at the 14. Just under 2 minutes to play in the first quarter. 7-7 knotted up here at Mesa College. A battle between the Metro Mesa League's Eastlake Titans and the Eastern League's St. Augustine Saints, two of the best teams in San Diego, coming in with identical 3-1 records. And the Eastlake Titans are driving. They just forced a turnover, and now they're trying to turn that into points. Fake the handoff to Baltazar, and an inside draw. And coming to the corner, into the end zone, touchdown, Isaiah Strayhorn. And the sophomore completely catches St. Augustine off guard. What a play by the Titans. They score again.
And a great play call there by Coach McFadden. You know, everybody's looking for Baltazar to get the ball. There's a fake handoff to him. It looked like 2 or 3 Saints guys went to tackle Baltazar before they even realized that he didn't have the ball. Quick speed there shown by Strayhorn. Surprising. We didn't know we were going to be calling his name too much, but with that kind of speed, you can't ignore him.
Aiden Johnson puts the extra point through the uprights, and the Eastlake Titans take a 7-point lead over St. Augustine. You're watching PlayOnSports.com's coverage of Friday Night Football. It's PlayOnSports.com, your destination for high school sports.
PlayOnSports.com is not only your destination for Friday night football action, but it's also the place for the most comprehensive coverage of high school playoff and championship events in all sports from all across the country. PlayOnSports.com, high school sports lives here.
The Eastlake Titans making St. Augustine pay for that turnover. Goodridge's last pass was intercepted by Jeremy Smith, and the Eastlake Titans didn't waste any time marching down the field. Took over just over a minute to put it back into the end zone. So we've seen that quick strike offense strike twice very fast here for Eastlake.
And both teams have kind of recognized they're really spreading the ball out. You know, we've got 5 or 6 guys from the Saints touching the ball in their 2 drives. And then same with Eastlake, spreading the ball around and using the misdirection to be successful early tonight.
Aiden Johnson will kick off from his 40. Dominic Morgan's going to field the kick at about the 10-yard line. He's got blockers in front of him. Crosses the 20, crosses the 30 off, across the 40 to midfield. Still on his feet. Dominic Morgan is going to go out of bounds at the 35-yard line. Great return. And once again, the St. Augustine Saints respond with a big play. They're going to have the ball in great field position at the Eastlake 35.
Man, both of these teams have such explosive and athletic players that we've seen these huge plays. It's not even the end of the first quarter yet, and we've got 2 plays that are just, it's, you know, where's the defense? But it's just these guys are so athletic and so quick. It's fun to watch, that's for sure.
St. Augustine will have it in great territory. Goodridge under center. He's got Juarez as the lone back. Man in motion, Ethan Sanchez. Goodridge, hands off left-hand side. Juarez, pressure being put on by Eastlake, and the ball is on the ground. Fumble. Great penetration by the Titans defense. They think they have the ball. This would be a huge, huge play if Eastlake did come away with it. But from the looks of the officials, it appears that St. Augustine fell on top of that football, and the offense will keep it. Second down, it actually works out nicely for Saints. They pick up 5 on a play that was stopped in the backfield.
Hey, I'm sure they'll take it, but I don't think Coach Sanchez is too happy about that. You got Tristan Juarez, you know, his first game really coming in as running back, and that's number 1 there. If you get hit, you got to hold that ball with 2 hands, and priority number 1, hold on to the ball.
A minute 20 to play, first quarter. Goodridge under center. He's got Elijah Preston in the backfield. Sanchez in motion, left to right. The handoff's going to go to Preston right up the middle, and he's got some space. 4-yard pickup. It's going to bring up 3rd down and short for the Saints. Nice cut up by Preston, and he hit that hole hard.
Yeah, Preston, the freshman, 5'5", 175, and the way he runs out there, it really doesn't look like he's 175. It looks like he's more like 200. You know, one of those guys that's low to the ground, is able to use his momentum, and he's got some big, thick legs to drive forward, and you don't see that in a lot of freshmen.
Well, St. Augustine's bringing in the jumbo package. They've got Derek Vieira in at fullback and Ryan Herberger in at running back. bunch package. The handoff's going to go to the fullback Vieira, and he's going to be close to that first down. I think they're going to give it to him, but it'll be close. Might need a measurement.
Yeah, depending on this spot here, he went right to the bottom of the pile, and I kind of lost him.
The officials will stop the clock with 18 seconds left to play in the first quarter. They're going to measure this one. It's really, really close. Too tough to eyeball from up here.
Yeah. This is a big call here. I mean, let's say, Brian, this is fourth down. They didn't quite get it there. Do you have the faith in your kicker to be able to go for this pretty long field goal? Or because it's so close, do you have faith in your offense to be able to get just a couple inches? What do you think?
Well, they're not going to have to worry about it too much. It appeared, but they're just short. So I will eat my words there, and St. Augustine will be forced with that decision. John Henry, I think you got to go for it here. Maybe just a quarterback sneak up the middle, or you keep that jumbo package in, try to get a half a foot here. That's about all the Saints are going to need. Yeah, they keep the big boys in there and just, smash mouth football.
Yeah, you gotta have the faith in your guys to be able to get 6 inches. You got to have the faith to be able to get a yard. And in this situation, I think you're right, Brian. Go full steam, put your head down, and push forward. That's everyone's duty right now, is just to push.
Vieira, the fullback. And the quarterback, Goodrich, is going to keep it. He's got the first down and more. He needed a half a foot. He got a full yard, and St. Augustine is going to have a first down. Move those chains for the Saints.
Good call by Coach Sanchez. A little bit of misdirection. You don't know if the fullback's going to get the ball or they're going to hand it off to Herberger, who's in there. But all of a sudden, quarterback's got it, and he's got the first down.
And that will be close to the last play of the first quarter. The clock rolling. I don't know if St. Augustine's going to get another play off or if they even want to. 3-2. Doesn't look like they'll get a play off as the quarter expires. The Eastlake Titans leading it 14-7. But St. Augustine driving. It's PlayOnSports.com's coverage of Friday Night Football on your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com.
Today's game is brought to you by California Printing Consultants, your one-stop printing source for all of your printing needs. Call CPC toll-free at 866-484-4039 or visit their website at www.cpcfirst.net for your next printing projects. Also, see CPC on the St. Augustine team page on PlayOnSports.com. Click on the CPC icon. Online print buying has never been this easy. Do you want to watch more of your high school's great matchups like the one you're enjoying here tonight? Tell your school to sign up for the PlayOn Sports School Broadcast Program. The program allows schools to broadcast all of their games and other activities on the web. For more information, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
The St. Augustine Saints driving, looking to tie this game up. They trail by 7 as we get underway here in the second quarter. Thomas Goodridge under center. He's going to fake the handoff to Juarez, rolling back, and he's going to throw it right back to Tristan Juarez, who is wide open, walks into the end zone. What a play call by the Saints. They executed it perfectly, and they are once again an extra point away from tying this one up.
And a lot of the big plays we've seen tonight, it just seems like a coach's battle here. These coaches are calling such great plays, catching the defense off guard. You could tell, obviously, Eastlake was not ready for the fake handoff going back to the running back, but it worked for Saints. Coach Sanchez coming out in this second quarter with a bang.
Tristan Juarez, who's normally a receiver and was pressed into duty as a running back this evening. The extra point good, ties it up at 14, but Juarez making his presence felt out there, and that time he got to act as a receiver from a running back spot. A pretty unique play call for the Saints.
Yeah, and I'm sure he was happy to hear that play call because he knew he was getting the call, and I think he might have had a hint that he'd be wide open also because he was getting the fake earlier. So Tristan Juarez, his comfortable position after he fumbled a couple plays ago, maybe coach trying to rebuild some confidence in the young running back / receiver out there.
The defenders were nowhere near him. And that's a play that works probably one time in a season. I don't know if people are going to let that one work again, as St. Augustine has showed their number here, but that one is a big one. 24 yards on the scoring strike from Goodridge to Tristan Juarez. And John Henry, nice job by Juarez to actually catch that ball. Sometimes that's the toughest part when you're wide open in the field to play like that. The ball seems so big, it seems like it takes forever to get there, and maybe you forget to catch that ball.
Yeah, I'm sure he's caught that ball 1,000 times in practice, but when it's in the game and there's nobody around you, you kind of get, like, you almost think about it too much.
Nick St. Clair boots this one into the end zone. No chance for a return, and the Titans will have it at the 20 once again. And both of these teams playing very well here on a Friday night in which we had a moment of silence before the game. Both schools dealing with tragedy this week, and the football game is almost secondary at this point, but the teams are performing well on the field. Both St. Augustine and Eastlake had members of the student body pass away this week, so just heavy hearts on all the guys out there on the field, but it's a couple-hour chance to have a little relief and a break from the reality and get to play some football.
Right.
As the handoff goes to Baltazar, and he's met in the backfield. No gain on the play, actually a loss of about 4 for the Titans.
And going back to what you just said, Brian, I mean, it kind of puts perspective around the game. We're kind of mid-season, and these teams they're practicing every day. It's all football. But then when you're able to step back and kind of see the larger picture and have this kind of tragedy, it makes you think and say, it's just football. And maybe it helps them play a little looser, a little more just having fun out there and playing with their friends instead of, we got to win this game.
Definitely does put things in perspective as Ty Stevens fakes the handoff. He's rolling left and firing to the left. He was looking for David Aguiza. Incomplete. It'll bring up 3rd down and a long 14 for the Titans. Great defense there by St. Augustine. They're getting great pressure up front, something we didn't see in the 2 Eastlake scoring drives.
Yeah, and the St. Augustine secondary as well. Great coverage on the play. Even if that pass was completed, I believe he only would have picked up 2 or 3 yards because he was so well covered. But this Saints defense has really stepped up. This game could have gone a different way if it was more like the first couple minutes.
Ty Stevens under center. Big 3rd down and 14 for Eastlake. Firing over the near side. Intended for Olave, and he dropped the ball. Isaiah Olave wants that one back. It was a tough position. He had to contort his body a weird way, but the ball hit his fingertips, and I'm pretty sure he'll tell you that he wants to catch that ball.
Yeah, I'm sure he's caught that ball in practice couple times, but that was a tough one to ask your receiver to make, kind of over that outside shoulder, running at the ball, outstretched. It's almost like he couldn't see the ball. It's kind of that blind spot, but a lot of pro players can't make that catch even. That's a tough one, but great throw by the quarterback. Put it kind of right on the money.
Ty Stevens, the quarterback / punter for Eastlake, with his feet on the goal line. The snap high, but he gets the kick away, and it's off the side of his foot, goes out of bounds about the 22-yard line, and St. Augustine is going to have the ball deep in Eastlake territory at the 23. That's almost like a turnover.
Yeah, and I'm really not sure what happened there. I mean, Stevens, the snap was a little high, and maybe he just tried to rush it, but I've never really seen the ball just kind of squirt off his foot like that.
And I think you nailed it on the head there, trying to rush it.
Yep.
He knew if that ball, there was a lot of pressure on that first kick when they had the roughing penalty. Maybe that was in his head a little bit. Didn't want to get one blocked for a touchdown, so tried to rush it, kicked it off the side of his foot. Now St. Augustine starts out Goodridge under center with Juarez in the backfield, 1st and 10 at the 23. The fake handoff to Juarez, rolling right, Goodridge, looking for the tight end. Great defensive play. Aaron Baltazar does it on both sides. Knocked that one away from the big fella, Robert DeCourt, or else we might be talking about 6 more points.
Yeah, DeCourt, he was the prime target there, and Baltazar coming up huge. Great coverage, and then kind of textbook getting that front arm in front of the wide receiver and just knocking it down. That's textbook. That's exactly what you need him to do every time.
So it'll bring up 2nd down, and we've got a timeout on the field. The officials looking to get things sorted out. I think we've got a equipment issue on the Eastlake side. Elijah Campbell, the senior lineman, he'll be replaced momentarily by Devin Ballou. It'll bring up 2nd down and 10. 10:46 to play, second quarter. Goodridge, the sophomore under center, barking out the play call. Dropping back to pass, looking over the right-hand side for Ethan Sanchez in the corner of the end zone, and incomplete. Intended for Sanchez, defended on the play by Pete Nelson. And Nelson knocked that one down. He was in great position. Excuse me, that was Jeremy Smith who had the interception earlier today.
Jeremy Smith coming up big in the secondary. 2 big plays now, 1 a turnover and 1 save and a touchdown. And that's a tough one to defend because you don't know when to turn around. You don't know when to snap your head around and find the ball because it was released so early and it's so high. So you got to keep your defender with your wide receiver on you, and then you got to also find the ball. He did a great job just knocking that ball away.
Big third down coming up for St. Augustine. You can't leave this drive empty-handed after being gifted this field position. Goodridge dropping back to pass, rolling right, looking back over the left-hand side. Tight end screen to Dixon. Dixon's got a blocker across the 20 down to about the 16, and we've got a late hit out of bounds on Eastlake. That's going to be a fresh set of downs for the Saints. They would have been facing about 4th and 3, but I think they're going to get a late push out of bounds by the senior defensive captain, Blake Wilson, of the Eastlake Titans.
And you can tell Wilson's a little frustrated on that one. It seemed like he was going for the hit and then kind of caught the wide receiver as he was going forward, and that's a tough call. You can see he's a little frustrated. You know, he feels like he's letting his team down, but yeah, it's going to be a personal foul, the late hit, and he's trying to plead his case, but this one's going forward, marching for the Saints.
Not going to win that argument with the officials. And from the 16, that'll be half the distance to the goal. It's going to bring up first down and goal for the Saints from about the Eastlake 8-yard line.
You mentioned it, Brian. Can't go away empty-handed after kind of being gifted that field position. So Saints has got to figure out how to punch it in here. They've got about 8.5 yards to go.
Now they're trying to get the personnel figured out here, asking for another back to join them. And they will get it. Elijah Preston, the lone back in the backfield, first and goal from the 8 for the Saints, looking for their first lead of the evening. Goodridge under center, pitches it to Preston over the right-hand side. Preston cuts back across the 5, takes a vicious hit about the 5-yard line, and he's going to be stopped there. That was a big hit put on the freshman by the Eastlake defenders.
And good job by the Eastlake, the whole defense there. We saw the one defender flanked out wide, pushing Preston back into the middle where the rest of the help is, and that's why that big hit took place.
Blake Wilson, the man who just got the personal foul penalty, the first Eastlake defender in there laying the big hit. So Wilson's going to try single-handedly to keep the Saints out of the end zone on this possession. They bring in Ryan Herberger, normally playing fullback, but he's at running back now from the 5-yard line for the Saints. His brother Tyler was injured last week. And Ryan's going to get the carry over the left-hand side. He's hit in the backfield. Great shoestring tackle by Baltazar. There's a penalty flag on the play. We'll see if that's holding against St. Augustine. That would march the Saints back 10 yards and be a huge penalty, but we'll wait for the call from the officials. It is going to be a hold against the Saints, so this drive marching in the wrong direction after first down and goal from the 8-yard line. Now they're going to have second down and goal from outside the 10.
Yeah, it's a great defensive play there by the Titans. They had plenty of guys kind of covered out to make that tackle. And with the holding, you know, they'll take that every day, putting Saints in a tough position here. Instead of 8 yards to go from that first down, now we're second and about 17.
17 yards away from the end zone. St. Augustine was just 5 yards away. They could sniff it, and now they've got an acre in between them and the goal line. Man in motion, right to left is Sanchez. The handoff goes to Juarez. Juarez tries to hit the hole and does, but only gets out to about the 15, 2-yard pickup on the play. And the Eastlake defenders once again in there leading the charge was Blake Wilson on the tackle.
And Blake Wilson, he was the one, as we mentioned, who was penalized for that late hit out of bounds. And he's the captain of this defense, so when your captain messes up, it kind of does feel like, you know, it's up to him to make it right, and so far so good, single-handedly.
Yeah, he's carrying the defense on his back right now. And you said it, an uncharacteristic late hit penalty. He was pleading his case, didn't think it was the right call, but he knows he's got to make a play now.
Yep.
in that inside backer position. Let's see if he can make something happen. It's 3rd down and goal from the 15 for the Saints. Goodridge dropping back to pass, firing across the middle, complete in the end zone. Touchdown, St. Augustine. Ryan Harris, 15 yards from Thomas Goodridge, and Goodridge put that ball on the money.
And Goodridge, we've seen him kind of missing just by a half yard here and there, and that one was, like you said, Brian, on the money. And talk about spreading the ball out. Ryan Harris, we hadn't called his name all night, and all of a sudden here he is with the TD and a huge score for St. Augustine as they capture their first lead of the night.
The extra point is on the way and right down Broadway. Nick Sinclair adds on the single digit. 21-14 St. Augustine, their first lead over the Eastlake Titans on PlayOnSports.com, your destination for high school sports.
Play On Sports is on Facebook and Twitter, giving you news and information and links to great highlights. Follow us at Play On Sports on both Facebook and Twitter. You can also access thousands of live and on-demand games on YouTube at youtube.com/PlayOnNetwork. Keep up with all the high school action every week from your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com.
Brian Vilvin and John Henry Winter Nolte bringing you the action live from Mesa College, where the St. Augustine Saints have taken a 21-14 lead over the visiting Eastlake Titans. And Nick Sinclair, the junior, will kick things off for St. Augustine. And deep to return, the dangerous Isaiah Olave has the ball at the 5-yard line, still on his feet across the 20, out to about the 23-yard line, where he's met by the St. Augustine special teams. Eastlake will have it at their own 23-yard line. Now let's see how the Titans can respond, playing from behind for the first time this evening.
Yeah, you know, from this first drive, first couple minutes of the game, it looked like it was going to be all Eastlake here tonight. But St. Augustine doing a good job of maintaining the momentum. Even though a couple kind of costly mistakes, they were able to recover from those and hold the Eastlake offense. But here, Eastlake has to make a statement as we're getting close to the end of this half.
Inside handoff. That's Baltazar. Excuse me. That was not Baltazar. I'll get a number on that one in just a second. That was Tavares Green on the inside carry. Pickup of about 2. It's going to bring up 2nd down and long for the Titans. 8-12 and counting here in the second quarter. It's been a prolific first half. Already 35 points scored between the two teams. Man in motion. Handoff Baltazar left side. Baltazar's got a little bit of space. Hurdles a defender and out of bounds across the 30. Wow, what an athletic move by Aaron Baltazar.
Baltazar, one for the highlight reel there. Man, he was lining that defender up as the defender was flying in, and he was able just to jump right over him. Man, I mean, it's one thing to think about doing that, and another thing to try it in a game and then be able to pull it off like that. Man, that might be a little bit of a confidence booster, even though they're 3rd and about 5 to go. 3rd and 4, excuse me. For Eastlake here, they've got to put this one past the first down.
And Baltazar coming off the hurdling act on 2nd down. Gets the carry on 3rd down. He's going to be just short, or at least close to that first down marker. It's going to bring up potentially 4th down here, assuming they are just short. And it is 4th down for the Titans. They send the punt team out. And we'll see if they don't try to get this one away.
I think this is a good call here by Coach McFadden. You know, he's a veteran coach. He's been around so many football games that, you know, this is one of those situations where you really want to go for it because you want to tie the game up. But at the same time, there's tons of football left. You got to have faith in your defense. And at this point, you got to take the field position and hopefully get off a good punt here.
The speedy Morgan standing at his own 39-yard line. Ty Stevens in punt formation standing at his 16. And the left footer gets off a nice one. It takes a bounce at the 35, an Eastlake bounce all the way down to the 27-yard line. A very nice punt by Ty Stevens, making up for the last one.
Yeah, I'm sure he felt like he had something to prove after that last one. He goes, I can kick the ball. Watch me kick it. And that's exactly what they needed there. You know, as a young quarterback, I'm sure you want to go for that on 4th and 1. But when you're in your own territory like that, Down by 7, it's a great call by Coach McFadden to punt that one away and have faith in your defense to get a big stop here.
Well, now we'll see if the defense can get that stop. 6 minutes, 48 seconds to play in the second quarter. Thomas Goodridge looking very good for this St. Augustine offense. The sophomore leading the team down the field to 3 touchdown scores here in the first half. Handoff Juarez, right side, and makes a couple of men miss and gets it all the way out across the 35-yard line. Pickup of about 6.5 on the play for St. Augustine is going to bring up second down and short.
Juarez dancing through the crowd there, picking up, looked like he was going to get maybe 1 or 2, and a couple hops and skips later, he had 7.5.
Second down and 4 to go for the Saints offense. Doing a great job moving the ball down the field and responding to Eastlake, now playing for the first time with the lead. And Goodridge is going to hand it off over the left-hand side. That's Elijah Preston. Preston still on his feet, and it's just a shoestring tackle by Baltazar, or Preston would have been to the house. Takes it across midfield, and another St. Augustine first down.
And the freshman Preston coming up huge there. St. Augustine doing a good job of keeping the ball on the ground and eating up a lot of clock, but being really successful with a couple big runs here tonight.
6 minutes and counting to go in the first half of play. St. Augustine with a 7-point lead, trying to add to that lead right now. And we see Francois Sims as the receiver to the far side, the other freshman back for St. Augustine into the game. Preston's going to get the carry over the right-hand side, still on his feet across the 45, down across the 40, cuts back across the field, and down to about the 31-yard line. Elijah Preston making his presence felt. John Henry, can you believe he's just a freshman?
I can't believe we've called his name so many times tonight. And a school like St. Augustine, they kind of have their team set, it seems like, the year before. They're always planning ahead, always getting the big names in there and getting a lot of experience. But Preston just coming, kind of out of nowhere. And a big star tonight so far for the Saints.
Eric Clark in at receiver along with Ethan Sanchez on the near side. Tristan Juarez back in at running back. Goodridge with the hard count, and they snap it on 4. Nice job by Eastlake to not jump off sides there, and they stuff Juarez just in front of the line of scrimmage. But great patience there by the Eastlake defense, not listening to the calls of Thomas Goodridge, just watching the ball.
Yeah, very, very smart. Shows a lot of discipline and leadership out there, even though it's getting to the latter part of this half. The guys are getting tired. They want to take that 15, 20-minute break they get at halftime, but staying focused and making a big play there. That's exactly what this Eastlake defense needs to do, is stuff the run.
Second down and 8 for the Saints. Goodridge under center, 2 receivers near side, man in motion. That's Eric Clark. Handoff, Juarez, and Juarez loses his footing just across the line of scrimmage. He's going to pick up maybe a yard. It'll bring up third down and 7 for St. Augustine. And if you're the Saints, you go to the air here. You don't want to lay off the gas pedal. You've got your first lead of the game, but you've got third down and long. I think you got to put the ball in the sophomore Goodridge's hands.
Yeah, I think so. And you got to have that faith at some point to say, hey, we don't care if you're a sophomore, a senior, freshman, 8th grader. You're going to get the ball. You're going to have to put it in your wide receiver's hands here.
Third down and 7, just under 4 minutes to play in the second quarter. Another hard count, and the hard count works, but in reverse. It got a St. Augustine offensive lineman, Daniel Flanagan, who was lined up as a tight end on the right-hand side. He's the one who moved. So St. Augustine will be marching in the wrong direction. It will bring up third down and 12 for the Saints.
And credit to Eastlake again, the second time on this drive that Saints is going with a real hard count. Last time they went on 4, I think you said. And Eastlake, that's exactly what they have to do, stay disciplined.
I think they were going to go on 4 again,
yeah.
And Flanagan went on 3.
Yeah.
Goodridge under center, third down and 12. Dropping back to pass, being pressured, delivers a strike across the middle, and it's incomplete, intended for Tim Chapman, but the freshman stepped up into the pocket and the sophomore stepped up into the pocket, made a rifle throw right on the money. Nice defense by the Titans. But St. Augustine will have fourth down and 12. Looks like the Saints are going to go for it.
I like that play call. Oh, that doesn't look like it.
And by go for it, I mean
I was getting
kick.
excited there. Yeah. Now Nick Sinclair, we saw him warming up a little bit. He's a soccer player, grew up playing soccer, and I wouldn't be surprised if he'd be able to kick this one. I'll let you do the math on how far this one's going to be.
49 yards officially for Nick Sinclair.
And you see Baltazar lining up at the back of the end zone.
The snap is good. The hold is good. The kick is up, and it is just short. Nick Sinclair needed to get it 49 yards out of the hold of Jack Hoffbauer. He got it about 47, and Eastlake's going to have the ball at the 20-yard line.
And Eastlake defense, this is, we back up a few minutes, a few plays, and it's that 4th down and short in their own territory, and coach elects to punt it away, and that's because he's got that faith in his defense to hold them. Saints can't quite make anything happen, get any points on the board, and now Eastlake's got just enough time, about just under 3.5 minutes to march. It's going to be 80 yards into the end zone. This could be fun to watch right here.
First down and 10. Fake the handoff. Rolling left is Stevens, firing across his body, and it's complete at midfield. Down to the 46-yard line, Vince Panaligan. And Eastlake with the response, 34 yards on first down.
And Stevens doing a good job of being able to buy himself some time. That O-line did a great job of also buying him some time, but he had to maneuver in some smart ways there to be able to find some space to get that throw off.
Handoff right side. And that is Green, still on his feet, pushed out of bounds. I don't know if he picked up anything there. No gain on the play, but he gets out of bounds, stops the clock. 3:01 to play, second quarter. Eastlake trailing by 7 and facing second down and long.
We've seen Eastlake tonight being pretty successful going deep against this Saints secondary. One adjustment that probably needs to be made for the second half. The safety or defensive backs for the Saints might be getting asked to make a play right here.
Handoff Baltazar, delay up the middle and down close to the 40-yard line. Pick up a 5 on the play to the 41 is going to bring up 3rd down and 5 for the Titans. 2:45 to play in the second quarter. Big 3rd down here. Eastlake, they get yardage in big chunks, but the St. Augustine defense doing a nice job having a chance here to stall another Titan drive.
Yeah, they've done well in the latter part of this half, stalling the run, and Titans really haven't been able to get much going.
Stevens hands it off over the left-hand side. That ball to Isaiah Strayhorn, who last time he touched it had a touchdown. This time he's met short of the necessary yardage. He's going to be about 4 yards short of the first down marker. It'll be 4th down and 4 for the Titans, and it looks like they're going to go for it here at the St. Augustine 40-yard line.
And I've got a call that I'm going to say it, they're going to go to the air on this one. They haven't been successful on the ground. They've been successful in the air, and this might be a pretty high-flying, nope.
4th down, Baltazar gets the handoff, and he's going to be short. Great penetration by the St. Augustine defense, and Eastlake's going to turn it over on downs once again. And in there on the defensive play for St. Augustine, Ryan Herberger and Patrick Lavelle leading the charge. Also Frank Buncombe in there making a play. And Buncombe hobbling off the field a little bit. Might have got caught up under that pile, but it's another turnover, and St. Augustine will have it at their own 37-yard line. They've got 2 timeouts remaining and 1:48 on the clock, looking to add to this 7-point lead before the half. Goodridge under center. He's got 2 receivers to the far side. One to the near side is Sanchez. Juarez, the lone back in the backfield. Dixon, the tight end, lined up on the left-hand side. Fake the handoff to Juarez, being pressured. Screen to Sanchez. Sanchez still on his feet, makes one man miss, and then is leveled at about the 42-yard line. I think the officials are going to give him credit out to close to the 43, so a 5-yard pickup. The clock continuing to roll, 1:30 and counting here in the second quarter.
And I'm sure Goodrich has never been in this kind of situation before where he's got to hurry up and try to figure out how to get out of bounds and make these passes kind of right on. He doesn't have a lot of time to think out there, especially in this hurry-up situation.
No huddle offense for the Saints. Goodridge barking out the signals to his team. 2 receivers near side, 1 to the far side. Preston the back. He gets the ball still on his feet. Elijah Preston's got a chance. He's brought down at the 40, loses the football, but Johnny on the spot. Ryan Harris is there to pick it up for the Saints. St. Augustine dodged a bullet.
Oh, yes, they did. Ryan Harris was coming across to block someone in the middle. He's probably supposed to pick up a free safety or something, and that's why you pursuit. You know, sometimes you see a lot of wide receivers kind of give up on the play after they see it go to the other side, but if Harris gives up on that one, then we're looking at Eastlake ball, first and 10 going the other way.
57 seconds to play in the second quarter, and a big pickup by the freshman Preston, and an even bigger pickup on the scoop by the junior Ryan Harris. St. Augustine gets to the line. Clock rolling, 48 seconds. 2 receivers near side, 2 tight ends. Handoff Preston again. Right after the fumble, they give him the ball right back, and he is met hard at about the 27-yard line. St. Augustine will call a timeout. 34 seconds left to play in the second quarter. John Henry will keep it right here. The Saints showing a lot of faith in the freshman Preston after a fumble, giving the ball right back to him. That's got to help his confidence out a lot.
Yeah, I think Coach Sanchez has been in enough games where if he sees a guy fumble, that doesn't change his mind about anything. You know, we look at the NFL and guys fumble, you know, one time after another, and it's a lot of the time it's a mental thing. So when you go right back to him, especially as a freshman, and say, hey, you're getting the ball again, don't think that you're not getting it, then that's just you know as a freshman that your coach believes in you, and that helps your self-confidence so much. And
we've seen a lot of big holes being opened up by this veteran offensive line for St. Augustine, anchored by the center and captain Ben Pierkowski. And that's got to be a huge factor when you've got a sophomore quarterback, a freshman running back, and then the other running back is a guy who's never played the position before. The offensive line making some big holes, and the offense continuing to click.
Yeah, it's really important, and we've seen why it's so successful. I mean, the Saints being able to put a lot of points up on the board, even with, you know, calling on guys to make big plays and fill some big shoes.
Goodridge gets the team set under center. Looking left, firing left, and it's nearly intercepted. The pass intended for Ryan Harris, broken up by Isaiah Olave. A great defensive play there, and that time it looked like Olave was the receiver and Harris became the defender.
Yeah, great positioning there by Olave. Kind of was draped all over the wide receiver and able to step in front at the last second. And like you said, it looked like he was the receiver, and I'm surprised that wasn't an interception.
3rd down and 6 to go for St. Augustine. At the Eastlake 27-yard line, 30 seconds to play in the second quarter. 3 receivers to the near side. Tight end to the right. Preston the lone back. He's going to get the handoff on the delay. Still on his feet, keeping those legs churning, and he's close to a first down. The clock continues to run, and the officials will stop the clock on the... It's either going to be a first down or they'll need to measure to see. But either way, the clock's going to stop. 13 seconds left to play in the second quarter. St. Augustine still has a timeout, but about 10 seconds ran off the clock there on the delayed draw.
Yeah, it looked like the officials were going to have to measure, but I think they spotted it a little bit behind where we thought they were going to, and I think it's just going to be a 4th down. So Saints was waiting for either the measurement, like you said, or the first down, and it was neither. So that's why the 10 seconds clicked off, and they had to call a timeout there to stop that clock from moving.
So St. Augustine had to burn a timeout. That is their final timeout of the half. 13 and a half seconds remaining in the second quarter. They're about a half a yard away from a first down, but right now, if you get that first down, the clock will stop. If you don't get the first down, it's a turnover. So a running play could make sense here because either way, the clock's going to stop after this play.
And I think they've elected to go even the safer route. They're not even going to go for it. They're going to
try a field goal here.
Field goal.
Well, we just saw Nick Sinclair boot one that would have been good from about 47. This one here from 37. And we'll see if the junior can hit it. Great penetration by the Eastlake defenders, and guess who Aaron Baltazar flying around the outside, and he blocks it. What a play by the Eastlake special teams.
And just the speed and strength shown by Baltazar all game, kind of the perfect example right there. Just coming off the end and picking up those 6 or 7 yards, whatever he needed to get to the ball. And he didn't just tip that, he fully blocked that.
Well, normally you would think with 7 seconds to play and 74 yards to go, you just take a knee, and that's what the Titans do. I didn't know if maybe they'd give Baltazar a chance to maybe break one, because you never know, but instead, Coach McFadden on the road elects to do the smart thing, take a knee, take a 7-point deficit into the half, but an exciting half it was, John Henry. Both of these teams came out firing.
Yeah, I mean, this has been a fun game to watch tonight. We've mentioned it numerous times. 2 of the top teams in San Diego going head-to-head tonight. Under the lights, nothing better.
Well, folks, that's the end of the first half of play, with the St. Augustine Saints leading the Eastlake Titans by a score of 21-14. We'll be back in a few moments with the PlayOnSports.com halftime show. Don't go anywhere. It's Friday Night Football on PlayOnSports.com, your destination for high school sports. Welcome to the PlayOnSports.com halftime show. Coming to you from Mesa College in San Diego, California. I'm Brian Vilvin alongside John Henry Winter Nolte. Our halftime score is the St. Augustine Saints 21 and the Eastlake Titans 14. And John Henry, we saw explosive offense from Eastlake on their first two drives of the game. And St. Augustine clomped back in this one. Their offense has been doing a really nice job as well. They finally took the first lead of the game. Eastlake's going to get the ball coming out at the half. What do the Titans need to do to get that big play explosive offense back for the second half?
Well, I mean, that's so characteristic of them. They're putting up 40 and 50 points each game, and now they're sitting at 14 at halftime. It's got to be a situation where they're kind of dumbfounded. What do we do? But I think they have to go to the air a little more. I mean, they've been trying to run, and they've got 3 great running backs to give the ball to with speed and power, but the Saints defense is just stepping up. So I think you got to try to split that Saints defense apart a little. You've been pretty successful going for 10, 15-yard passes against the Saints secondary, and if you start doing that, then it opens up the run a little more, and then you start to put more points up on the board.
And if you're St. Augustine playing with the lead, they're going to be kicking off to Eastlake. What do the Saints need to do on the offensive side to try to keep Eastlake off of the field and maintain this lead throughout the second half?
Well, with their, we'll call them rookies, kind of in key positions in this game at quarterback, running back, I mean, this is a team that they just kind of walked off the bus and they're playing their hearts out and they're doing a great job. But I think if they keep running the ball like they do, they're going to do great. I mean, they haven't been very successful in the air, but it's different for a quarterback to say, hey, I need you to go be quarterback. It's like, it might be a little overwhelming, but for a running back and say, hey, I need you to go be running back, it's like, okay, let's do it. It's more natural. It's a less thinking required kind of job, and you can run out there and run all over the field and do a great job. But for a quarterback, it's a little more involved than just going out and playing. So I think if they keep running, they're going to be successful.
The inexperience has not shown yet so far. Tommy Goodridge with 3 touchdown passes already on the evening. We'll go over a quick little scoring summary here. It was the Eastlake Titans that got things started. Aaron Baltazar with a 44-yard rushing touchdown on the first drive of the game. That was a 52-yard drive in 2 plays for a score that put Eastlake ahead 7-0. Then it was Tim Chapman on a receiving touchdown from Thomas Goodridge. That was 33 yards to even the score up at 7 apiece. Then Eastlake responded with an inside handoff for 14 yards to Isaiah Strayhorn. That gave Eastlake the lead once again, but St. Augustine responded on a little trick play to Tristan Juarez, a fake handoff, and then throw back to the running back Juarez for a 24-yard score. That evened it up at 14. And then St. Augustine took their first lead of the game on a 15-yard strike from Goodridge to Ryan Harris. And that's where we stand now, 21-14, St. Augustine ahead. And it should be an explosive second half here. 35 points combined between the teams in the first half. We'll see what the second half has in store. Well, folks, that's going to do it for the PlayOnSports.com halftime show. Friday Night Football will return in just a few moments with the start of the second half, right here on your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com. You're watching PlayOnSports.com's presentation of Friday Night Football live from San Diego, California. I'm Brian Vilbin with John Henry Winter Nolte. The St. Augustine Saints lead the Eastlake Titans 21-14 as we get ready for the second half kickoff. It'll be the St. Augustine Saints kicking off to Eastlake. Nick Sinclair kicking it deep and into the end zone. Isaiah Olave will catch it there, and the Titans will have a touchback. They'll start out 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line, trailing by 7, looking to get an evening score here. They scored quickly on their first drive of the game, and then they scored on their second possession as well. But since then, the St. Augustine defense has come alive and stymied the Eastlake rushing attack. Ty Stevens at quarterback. He's going to hand it off to Baltazar over the left-hand side. Baltazar makes one man miss, sheds a tackler, gets out close to the 25. And it'll bring up second down and short for the Titans.
And, Brian, one thing I want to mention before we get too far into this half, I really think the Eastlake has got to get Baltazar the ball a little more in an open field setting, whether it's kind of getting him a quick pass to the outside or something. Even that last play, he was able to get to the outside. If he can get a little bit of running room and make some guys miss, I think he's going to be tough to stop.
Man in motion, left to right, handoff over the right-hand side. Baltazar, and he's met. Nice form tackle there by Mitch Cohen, the junior, stepping in and knocking Baltazar back. Pickup of maybe 1 on the play. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 4 for the Titans.
The Saints defense doing a great job of getting into the middle, filling the gaps, filling the holes, and bringing everyone to the ball there. Baltazar isn't one to be taken down by one single tackler, but a host of Saints there on the tackle.
Stevens puts a man in motion, drops back to pass, looking left, being pressured, flushes out of the pocket over the right-hand side, going to hang on to the football and is sacked at the 21-yard line. And it was Patrick Lavelle, the man making the play. Robert DeCourt was close behind, but Ryan Herberger. I was right. That was Patrick Lavelle. This guy's got me confused. Herberger and Lavelle are mirror images of one another out there, both 5'11", 215, and always find themselves around the football. But that was Lavelle with the sack, and it's going to force a 3-and-out. Great defensive start to the second half by St. Augustine. Dominique Morgan near midfield to return this punt. Ty Stevens will do the punting for Eastlake. The left-footed kicker gets one off. And it's going to be caught by Morgan at the 42-yard line, still on his feet, close to the 50, still on his feet, makes a man miss, still on his feet to the 40 and the 30. Dominique Morgan's going to take it to the house. Touchdown, St. Augustine. And Dominique Morgan should have been stopped right about midfield. I don't know how he stayed on his feet, but he did. And St. Augustine adds to their lead. They're up by 13 with the extra point on the way.
And as a good a job as Saints is doing with their form tackles, you mentioned it, wrapping up and waiting for their help to come, Eastlake just can't seem to figure out that you just got to wrap up and hold on. Dominique Morgan was stopped in his tracks right at the 50. Instead, he bounces off a couple guys, spins around a couple times, and uses that breakaway speed to get into the end zone. I mean, that was just unbelievable. That's a play that should never even be thought of, and now it's on the highlight reel.
And St. Augustine didn't have to wait long to add to that lead. Now Nick Sinclair will try to make it 14 points. And the extra point is on the way and good. 28-14. St. Augustine leading Eastlake. They've doubled their lead with a 58-yard punt return for a touchdown. Dominique Morgan. The Saints lead by 14 on PlayOnSports.com, your destination for high school sports.
Today's game is brought to you by California Printing Consultants, your one-stop printing source for all of your printing needs. Call CPC toll-free at 866-484-4039 or visit their website at www.cpcfirst.net for your next printing project. Also, see CPC on the St. Augustine team page on PlayOnSports.com and click on the CPC icon. Online print buying has never been this easy.
Dominique Morgan, 58 yards on the punt return for a touchdown. And that one will be on the highlight reels. Got to imagine that one's going to be up there for play of the week nationwide,
Right.
as Dominique Morgan made a bunch of guys miss. Should have been brought down around midfield and scores the touchdown. Nick Sinclair will kick off to Olave once again. And Olave is going to catch it right near the goal line, but still on his feet, gets a chance to bring it out and brings it out to about the 22-yard line. Nice return there by Olave. And I think he thought when he caught the ball he was in the end zone, but instead the officials never blew the play dead, and he got to keep going.
And it's so funny to see kind of a mirror image. The first quarter of this game, the first drive, Saints had the ball. They're stymied 3 and out. They punt, and then there's a huge play, and Eastlake scores. Now Eastlake got the ball to start the second half, 3 and out. All of a sudden, Saints gets a big play, scores. Let's see how Eastlake can respond here. They really need to put some points up.
Stevens hands it off to Baltazar, and Baltazar is moving forward for about 3. It's going to bring up 2nd down and 7 for the Titans. 9.5 minutes to play, third quarter, and the Eastlake team got to be in a little bit of shock here as all of a sudden you look up and you're down by 14.
They really are. I mean, they haven't been in this position all year, especially this late in the game as we're well into the second half. They've got to get some momentum.
Handoff, Baltazar still on his feet across the 30, where he'll be met and going to be short of that first down yardage. It'll be 3rd down and short for the Titans. Do you keep the ball on the ground here? You try to go to the air. It's tough shaking either way because of the pressure that front seven's putting on for St. Augustine.
Right, St. Augustine defense has been doing such a good job, especially that front seven. I think you need to try to exploit that secondary.
The handoff's going to go to Olave over the left-hand side, and he's met in the backfield. Ryan Herberger with the tackle for loss, and once again, Eastlake will have to punt it away to the Saints.
And you see the Saints defense now playing with a lot of confidence. I mean, the first couple minutes of this game, they were kind of back on their heels, wondering what's going to happen. Now they're kind of making the decision to create what's going to happen. They're only going to let happen what they want, and that's a 3 and out every time, it seems like.
The dangerous Dominique Morgan standing at the 40-yard line. Ty Stevens will punt it for the Titans. Saints has the return on. Stevens gets this one off. A beautiful kick out of bounds. Nicely done. He got a lot of hang time on that one and kicked it directly toward the sideline. It's going to go out of bounds at the 45-yard line. That time Morgan had no chance. Great directional kick by Stevens.
Great directional kick. I mean, not only by any punter, but the quarterback. I mean, that's an impressive play. And St. Augustine, just as they don't like to give the ball to Baltazar with any kind of room to run, now it looks like Eastlake has kind of figured out that Saints has some guys that can really break away and change this game.
Thomas Goodridge under center for St. Augustine. The sophomore has had a very fine game in his first start at the varsity level. One man in the backfield is Tristan Juarez. Hard count. Handoff Juarez up the middle. Juarez still on his feet. Gets forward about 3 yards on the play. Close to midfield at about the 48-yard line, where it'll be 2nd down and 7 for the Saints.
And going back to what you just said there, Brian, Goodridge and Juarez, I mean, you would never know that this is their first start in the positions that they're in. I mean, Juarez, he's got a lot of experience out there, but Goodridge stepping in, filling some big shoes, and like I said, you would never even notice that he's a rookie out there.
Elijah Preston, the lone back in the backfield, he's a freshman. Man in motion, Sanchez. Handoff goes to Preston. He's got nowhere to go, but somehow sheds a tackler, gets across midfield, and he's got the first down and more all the way down to the 40-yard line. And that's the second time we've seen Preston stopped in the backfield and just shimmy his way down for a first down.
Elijah Preston, I mean, we've mentioned it before. He's 175, but he runs like he's 200 pounds, and he's so quick out there. It's so tough to catch up to him once he gets to that outside, and he's a huge pickup right there.
First down for the Saints. The chains continue to move. The clock continues to move, and the Saints have a 2-touchdown lead. Goodridge under center. He's looking to throw. Rolling right. He takes a big hit, but delivers the shot on target, complete for a first down. Thomas Goodridge stayed in the pocket, delivered a ball on the money to his big tight end, Patrick Dixon, and the Saints have a first down.
And that's a play that most seniors in high school aren't really willing to take. That big hit. He's thrown across the middle to, granted, a huge target in Dixon that he's got so much confidence in. But Goodrich doing a great job, taking the hit, staying in the pocket, and delivering a strike. I mean, unbelievable.
First down and 10 for the Saints. 6.5 minutes to play, third quarter. And we've got a false start. That ball was going to go to Preston over the left-hand side. Great penetration on the play by the defensive captain, Blake Wilson. And we've got a penalty against St. Augustine, a false start, marching them back 5 yards in the wrong direction. They'll have it first down and 15 from the Eastlake 34-yard line.
And Eastlake needed something to kind of get this momentum back on their side, and they really weren't able to stop, the pass and now the run as well. But maybe this is just that cushion, that 5-yard cushion that they need to make a big play.
Harris and Chapman, the receivers, but there was a fumble on the snap. Looks like St. Augustine picked it up. And they get the ball after the shuffle, so it's going to bring up second down and long for the Saints. But the clock continues to move, just under 6 minutes to play, third quarter.
Not sure what happened there on that miscommunication, but it looked like Goodrich wasn't quite ready for the snap, and all of a sudden the ball was there.
It didn't seem like anybody on the field was ready for the snap, and
right.
I know up here I wasn't ready for the snap. Ben Pierkowski apparently was.
He was ready to roll.
And it's second down and long for the Saints. Goodrich barking out the signals. Dropping back to pass, looking right all the way, firing right, throwing toward the end zone. Touchdown, St. Augustine! What a throw and catch for the Saints. And on the reception again, Ryan Harris coming down, his second score of the game. What a throw by Thomas Goodrich.
The Goodrich-Harris connection again. Like you just said it, what a throw, but then what an athletic play by Harris in the back of the end zone to come down with that one. He didn't even look like he had position on the defender to make a play on that.
31 yards on the hookup, and St. Augustine has broken this one wide open. The extra point is good, but there are penalty flags on the play.
Looks like they're going to have to re-kick from a few yards back. I believe they're actually calling encroachment. Offsides on the defense.
So we'll get another attempt at this kick. But St. Augustine, after trailing 7-0 and tying the game, then trailing 14-7 and tying it up, they've now scored 21 straight after the score was tied. 31 yards on the reception by Ryan Harris. And John Henry, Thomas Goodrich is playing a heck of a football game.
Heck of a football game. You said it.
The extra point, try number 2, is up and good again. So Nick Sinclair puts one more point on the board. St. Augustine has 35 points on the evening. They've scored 28 unanswered. And they lead at 35-14 on PlayOnSports.com's coverage of Friday Night Football. It's your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com.
Do you want to watch more of your school's great matchups, like the game you're enjoying here tonight? Tell your school to sign up for the PlayOn Sports School Broadcast Program. The program allows schools to broadcast all of their games and other activities on the web. For more information, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
Brian Vilvin and John Henry Winter Nolte coming to you live from Mesa College, the home of the St. Augustine Saints, and the Saints are playing like they're at home right now. They lead at 35-14, 28 unanswered points. And it's going to be tough to stop this St. Augustine offense when Thomas Goodrich is throwing passes like that.
Yeah, they've had such an explosive and dominating run game in that first half. And now in the second half, we see a few more passes being thrown, worked into their drives. And the Eastlake defense is kind of bewildered. They're not sure what to do. They can't figure out how to stop this Saints offense. And on the other side of the ball, they can't figure out what to do to move those chains forward.
Nick Sinclair will boot this one. And he'll kick it into the end zone for a touchback. Another good weapon for St. Augustine. They always seem to have kickers who can boot those touchbacks. just about every time. And for Eastlake, it means they have to march 80 yards down the field if they want to score. And they've got 3 scores they've got to make up to get back into this one. 5 minutes and 23 seconds to play in the third quarter.
And if you're tuning in, you're thinking about turning this one off, do not. Eastlake is capable of putting up 40, 50 points a game. They've got the talent. They've got the coaching. They've got everything they need. They just got to put it all together.
Dropping back to pass is Stevens, firing over the middle and nearly intercepted off of the hands of Dominique Morgan. And the St. Augustine coaching staff is telling Morgan, hey, don't worry about that one. Shake it off. You'll get plenty more opportunities. But we know that Eastlake goes from that hurry-up offense pretty much the entire game anyway. So the coaching staff knows that you don't have time to worry about it. Now that their back is against the wall, they're going to have to go hurry up even more.
Right.
So no time to worry about that one. Morgan would love to have that one back, but move on to the next play, and Eastlake, just like that, snaps the football. Stevens dropping back to pass, trying to set something up for Baltazar. He's got a screen. He's got room across the 30, out of bounds at the 36-yard line. Nice play call there to get Baltazar in open space. They'll mark him out at the 35, but I really like that play by Coach McFadden.
Yeah, Coach McFadden, we've talked about him a few times tonight. Veteran coach. He's kind of got every play in his playbook. He can go to anything, and getting Baltazar into that open field is exactly what Eastlake's got to do to march down this field, and it's working tonight, or it's working this drive at least.
First down for the Titans. Stevens hurrying it up. Inside hand up to Olave. He's got space across the 40, close to midfield, and run out of bounds across the 50. Isaiah Olave, and John Henry, you alluded to this a second ago. They've got this high-powered offense, and they can score in bunches. They can score very quickly. So St. Augustine can't take their foot off the gas pedal. Eastlake in 2 plays, they're now at midfield.
Yep, Eastlake, this is exactly what they need to do. Get some momentum, get rolling down the field.
First down and 10 for the Titans. Stevens looking to pass, firing back across his body, and it's complete, still on his feet. Joseph Carpizo, he's going to take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Eastlake. But wait a second. The officials say Carpizo went out of bounds at the 25-yard line. I got a little excited there, but the officials right on top of it. It's going to be a first down, 25-yard pickup on the play for the Titans, but 25 yards is a lot different than 50 yards and a score.
Yeah, Carpizo, you saw him kind of walking that tight rope over there on the far sideline. Couldn't quite keep his toes in, and that referee he was the only one in the stadium with that view, so he had to have gotten that one right. Stevens
puts a man in motion. He hands it off. That's Olave over the right-hand side. And he's going to pick up about a yard. The clock will continue to roll. 4:44 to play in the third quarter.
And going back to that last play, quarterback putting it right where it needs to go. Stevens right into the hands of the receiver and in open field. I mean, I'm not sure where the defender was on that. Maybe a little confusion in the secondary for the Saints, but that seems like that's where Eastlake is being most successful when they get into that secondary, the Saints.
Stevens under center, hands it off on the inside, and we've seen a touchdown out of this play already. Isaiah Strayhorn is met. No gain on the play. Great job by St. Augustine to sniff that one out. They're not going to get fooled by that one more than once. The big fellas up front, Patrick Lavelle with a good push. Joe Maloof in there as well, making a stand for the St. Augustine defense.
And brings up on that great play a third and about 8 to go. So the Saints defense saying, hey, you're getting a little close. We're gonna keep you out of this end zone.
3:35 and counting in the third quarter. Dropping back to passes, Stevens looking and incomplete just off the fingertips of the outstretched Joseph Carpizo. I don't know if he would have had 6, but he'd be pretty close if he had caught that pass. A beautifully thrown ball by Stevens in a spot where only Carpizo could catch it. And Joseph Carpizo was very close to doing just that.
Yeah, and he laid out. He was pretty much horizontal as he was attempting to make the play on that ball. Like I said, I think it just tipped off his fingertips. And that's one that maybe he'll catch a couple times out of 10, but not a regular catch. That's for sure. It's a tough one.
3:32 to play in the third quarter. Ty Stevens under center, dropping back to pass. Looking across the middle, firing, and it's complete. Again, that's Carpizo. He's become the favorite target, and a great job by the senior tight end knowing where the first down yardage was and going to that spot and picking up exactly what he needed for that first down. And that's a huge play for the Titans.
Yep, just a 7-yard out. I mean, that was fourth, and they needed about 7 yards, and he just ran 7-yard out, perfect throw, and Carpizo picking up the first down.
First down and 10 from the St. Augustine 14. This drive has been quick, and it has been productive for Eastlake. They hand it off to Aaron Baltazar, and Baltazar is stopped just across the line of scrimmage. Pickup of maybe 1 on the play for Eastlake.
And it seems like the Saints have kind of been able to figure out and find Baltazar on each of these plays. He's had a couple big plays, obviously that first one and then a few plays ago. But other than that, I mean, they've really been able to keep him at 1 or 2 yards per carry, which is impressive. No other team has been able to do that.
Stevens dropping back to pass, looking left, rolling left, and he's going to be met in the backfield. Huge sack on the play. Ryan Herberger, the man on the scene, and that's a huge play for St. Augustine. Loss of 7 on the play for Eastlake. Call it 8. And Ryan Herberger's got himself another sack.
And if that last third down wasn't big enough, Eastlake with their backs against the wall here, third and about maybe 18 before they can keep playing on this one.
That will be the distance to go. Third down and 18 for the Titans. Clock running, 2:02 to play in the third quarter. Eastlake needs to score on this drive. They fire across the middle, and it's nearly intercepted. Let's see what the call is. It's going to be an interception by Dominique Morgan. So Morgan, who had a likely interception on the first play of this drive, gets an opportunity and responds. He caught the ball right at the 1 yard line, so St. Augustine's going to have their back against the wall, but they get the huge pick by Morgan. He's having a terrific game.
And Brian, you called it on that last one, just out of his reach. The coaches were telling him, don't worry, you'll get another chance, you'll get another chance. And I think we just saw that other chance. He capitalized on it. Huge play, not only just an interception, but, I mean, Eastlake they drove about 70 yards down the field only to be stopped by that great interception. And now you're getting your offense a chance to march down the field, eat up some clock possibly, and really put this game not away, because we know this Eastlake offense, what they're capable of, but it's going to be a big drive here for the Saints if they can capitalize.
Well, we've got the Bruisers in there. Derek Vieira at fullback and Ryan Herberger at running back. St. Augustine playing this as a goal line set. Everybody bunched in tight. Tommy Goodridge under center. And he will wait to take the snap and just go forward himself. I think we're going to have a false start on the offense. So first down and 10 from the 2 becomes first down and 11 from the 1. St. Augustine likes to go to that jumbo package, though, and bring in Herberger and Vieira, who both play linebacker for the St. Augustine defense. And in this case, they bunch them up, bring in Dixon into court at the tight end spots. And now we're sending the jumbo package off the field and bringing in the speedsters.
And, Brian, it looks like that might have been offsides on the defense, because they just marched the ball out 5 yards. It's going to be, we're going to replay the first down, 1st and 5. Wow.
I had a blind moment there. As St. Augustine, that's why they bring in the regular offense. They've got some space now, and first down and short to go. Handoff Juarez over the right-hand side, and he's met in the backfield. They're going to lose about 3 on the play to the 5 yard line, where it'll be second down and 8. But a big break for the St. Augustine offense. Instead of having your feet in the goal line, you get a little bit of extra breathing room, and you're able to keep the ball on the ground, keep that clock moving. 1.5 minutes to play third quarter, clock winding down. St. Augustine leading by 21, and ever since Eastlake led 14-7, it's been all St. Augustine. 28 unanswered points at the end of the first half into the second half here. Goodridge under center. Juarez the back. That's Preston. Preston's going to get the carry over the left-hand side. Gets to the corner, gets outside to the 10, and across to the 15 and 16 yard line where he's driven out of bounds at the 17. First down, St. Augustine, and they gave the ball to the freshman. He comes up with a huge first down, 1:01 to play, third quarter.
And he's so quick out there. As soon as he hits that outside and he sees that he can get around that outside defender, he just turns it on like a sixth gear almost and just picks up that first down, 15-yard run. I mean, he's really a fun guy to watch out there.
Preston will stay in the backfield. 2 receivers to the near side, 1 to the far side, but that man will come in motion. Ethan Sanchez right to left. Preston, carry, right-hand side, 14, across the 20, and a first down again. He gets hit hard, but it's after 11 yards. He'll take that every single time.
Yeah, and he didn't just take that hit, too. He kind of lowered his head and tried to deliver something, but with that 175 pounds, sometimes that's not the best matchup versus a big linebacker for this Eastlake squad.
Well, he'll take those kind of hits 11 yards down the field all day.
Very true.
You ask a running back, where do you want to get hit the hardest? I'd like to get hit the hardest after 11 yards. 43 seconds to play, third quarter. St. Augustine in command. A matchup of 2 of the top teams in the section, identical 3-1 records. The Saints looking to beat Eastlake for a second year in a row. Last year they did it on the road. This year they're doing it at home. Handoff, Juarez, right side, stays in bounds. Nice play to stay in bounds. Doesn't pick up any yardage, but the clock continues to run, and that will be the last play of the third quarter as they can just let this one wind down. 12 seconds remaining in the quarter, but the Saints won't have to call another play.
Saints doing a good job of managing that clock. I mean, with a lead this big, you can kind of start thinking about, maybe we should run a little more to run that clock down, because if you only give the other team 2 possessions in the rest of the game, you're going to win because you're up by 3. So Eastlake's really got to find something to do, find that magic that they had in that first couple minutes of this game.
Well, as we move the ball from one side of the field to the next, the Eastlake Titans are going to have to figure out a way to stop the St. Augustine offense. They trailed by 21. It's 35-14, St. Augustine leading on PlayOnSports.com, your destination for high school sports.
PlayOn Sports is on Facebook and Twitter, giving you news and information and links to great highlights. Follow us at PlayOn Sports on both Facebook and Twitter. You can also access thousands of live and on-demand games at YouTube, youtube.com/PlayOn Network. Keep up with all the high school action every week from your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com. PlayOnSports.com is not only your destination for Friday night football action, but it's also the place for the most comprehensive coverage of high school playoff and championship events in all sports from all across the country. PlayOnSports.com. High school sports lives here.
Fourth quarter about to get underway from Mesa College between the St. Augustine Saints and the Eastlake Titans. It's a 35-14 St. Augustine lead. They've got second down and 10, and they are in complete control here. Their home field, Mesa College, home of the Olympians. Handoff, Tristan Juarez. He's met in the backfield. That's the defensive captain getting in there. Blake Wilson making the tackle in the backfield. And St. Augustine loses 4 on the play. It'll be an interesting decision here to see if the Saints decide to keep the ball on the ground and keep eating up that clock, or if they try to make a play in the air and keep the chains moving.
And Blake Wilson doing a good job of firing up this defense. I'm sure they had a little bit of a huddle. Coach said a few things, pointed a few things out, but I'm sure Wilson was up in there speaking his voice and now showing what he can do on the field.
Third down and 14 to go for the Saints. Goodridge under center. He's got Juarez as the lone back in the backfield. 2 receivers far side, 1 to the near side. Hard count by the quarterback. Dropping back to pass, looking across the middle, firing, and it's nearly intercepted. It was also nearly complete. His intended target has been his favorite target so far, Ryan Harris. Isaiah Olave there on the defense. That was a dangerous play for St. Augustine.
Yeah, and they elected to go with the pass, and they had, I think he had his receiver open. He just threw it a little bit behind him, just enough so that Olave could make up that extra space and almost get the pick. But if nothing else, bat down the 3rd and long and force the punt here.
Joe Maloof will kick it for St. Augustine. The deep man, the always dangerous Aaron Baltazar for the Titans. Baltazar's at the 47-yard line. Maloof gets this punt off. It's going to take a bounce at the 45, a St. Augustine bounce all the way across the 30 and toward the sideline at the 28-yard line. So a huge kick, and the field position is swayed. Eastlake now has it deep in their own territory. They're going to have to march all the way down the field once again.
And a huge punt there by Saints. Maloof putting that one. It wasn't the highest kick, but he got a good angle on it. It carried well and got that favorable hop. I mean, that thing bounced about 15 yards.
And the officials are saying that a St. Augustine player touched the ball on the left side of the 30-yard line. So rather than the ball being at the 28, it'll be at the 31-yard line, where the Titans will start off. 1st and 10. 10 minutes and 57 seconds left to play in the fourth quarter. Handoff, Baltazar met in the backfield. The ball's on the ground. Fumble at the 25. There's a scrum on the field. St. Augustine comes away with it.
And Baltazar, who's been so solid all night and so dangerous, just one slip-up, that's really all it takes, and Saints now has the ball. I mean, 25-yard line, knocking on the door with really not having to do too much.
And I think that was Joe Maloof, the man who just had a beautiful punt to change the field position. He's the one who ends up with the fumble recovery for the Saints. So a huge, huge turn of events here, and St. Augustine is in business. 10:50 to play in the fourth. They lead by 21. They have the ball deep in Eastlake territory, looking to turn this turnover into more points. You got to imagine we're going to keep this ball on the ground here if you're St. Augustine. Yeah. Thomas Goodridge under center. Elijah Preston, the lone back in the backfield. And it's going to be a pitch to the left side to Preston. He's got space. He's going to cut back, and he's going to be met by a bunch of defenders. But he'll get across the 20-yard line. 6-yard pickup on first down for the freshman back, Elijah Preston.
And a great job there by the offensive line getting a big push. I mean, Preston had 5-6 yards before he even thought about making a move, and he hit that hole real hard. Good defensive tackle. I think it was one of the linebackers there stepping up and filling the gap. But Preston, man, he's been running hard all night.
Look at the composure that Goodridge has out there. Just a sophomore walking up to the line, assessing things, taking a lot of time off that play clock, inducing a false start out of his offensive line. But Goodridge, just so impressed with what he's doing this evening. He looks so confident out there, and that's so difficult if you are inducing offsides there.
Oh, it's
with that hard count. So it's going to be another first down, or at least close to it for St. Augustine. I think it'll, on 2nd down and 4, they'll get a first down out of that one for free. But Goodridge just looks so solid, so composed out there. It's unbelievable to think this is his first ever start at the varsity level.
Yeah, really unbelievable. And just to see his composure and how everyone else is kind of feeding off of it. I mean, they've had so many encroachments forced on the defense because they've had such discipline on the front lines.
Bunch formation, and Juarez is going to throw it. He's got a man. Touchdown, St. Augustine. Tristan Juarez on the halfback pass, and it's caught by the big fella, Patrick Dixon, in the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. They lead by 27.
And as much composure as this sophomore quarterback has shown, all of a sudden, the other rookie at running back, Juarez, being asked to throw the ball, putting it right on the money to Goodrich's favorite target, Dixon, for 6 points up on the board.
And there was a penalty flag on the field. It was thrown after the play was blown dead. Unsportsmanlike conduct against the defense. The touchdown is good, and I believe that penalty will be enforced on the ensuing kickoff.
I think one of the Titans was a little frustrated and took his helmet off, which you cannot do on the football field. And that's an easy call for the referee. He's got to be smart out there.
So the halfback pass for a touchdown to Patrick Dixon. And St. Augustine has blown this one wide open. On to attempt the extra point is up and good. Nick Sinclair right down the middle. 42-14. St. Augustine leading Eastlake on Friday Night Football on PlayOnSports.com, your destination for high school sports.
PlayOnSports.com is not only your destination for Friday night football action, but it's also the place for the most comprehensive coverage of high school playoff and championship events in all sports from across the country. PlayOnSports.com. High school sports lives here.
Brian Vilvin and John Henry Winter Nolte coming to you live from Mesa College, where the St. Augustine Saints are putting on a clinic here, both offensively and defensively. Even special teams is getting in there, and they've returned a punt for a touchdown this evening. So St. Augustine doing it in all aspects of the game. 9:53 to play in the fourth quarter, and they are in complete control, a 28-point lead over the Eastlake Titans in a game where many people coming in thought that the Titans were going to be a heavy favorite with the prowess of their offense. The fact that their offense has scored 42, 55, and 56 in the last 3 weeks, and the fact that St. Augustine has a guy starting at running back who's never started at that position, a quarterback who's starting his first ever game as just a sophomore, and then the two other backs in the backfield are freshmen as well. So a lot of inexperience in the offensive backfield for St. Augustine, but that offensive line has been tremendous this evening, giving Goodrich time, and he's just put the ball on the money every single time. So after the unsportsmanlike conduct penalties assessed on this kickoff, St. Augustine will just get to blast it right through the uprights, and Sinclair puts it through those uprights. It's going to count the same as a touchback, but nice job there, having a little bit of fun. If you're St. Augustine, leading by 28 points, you can afford to have a little bit of fun at this point.
Yep.
9:53 to play in the contest.
Yeah, they can probably play a little more, they can breathe a little bit. They don't have to feel like every play is the play where they need that 10-yard pickup. Maybe see a couple subs coming in here. This Saints defense, I mean, we've been talking about the offense so much. This defense has been unbelievable. I mean, besides that first couple minutes of the game, they've been 3 and out. They've been testing this Titans offense, just not letting them do anything.
And we've got some new offensive players in. Arnett Clue at quarterback for Eastlake. He's going to get the carry on first down, take it out toward the 25-yard line. Pickup of close to 5 on the play for the senior quarterback, Clue. He'll get the play call in from the sideline. 2nd down and 5 for the Titans. 9.5 minutes to play, fourth quarter. Man in motion. He's going to get the carry over the left-hand side and met in the backfield. Loss on the play. On the tackle was Kim Mahoney, a linebacker, just a junior for St. Augustine, and he brought the ball carrier down 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage. 3rd down and 7 coming up for the Titans. Got to see if Eastlake's going to put this one in the air with Arnett Clue in there at quarterback.
Especially at this point in the game. I mean, they don't have time to waste to run the ball. They need 7 yards. They need more than that. They need 3-4 scores.
Clue will throw, and it's complete. The ball hit a couple of St. Augustine defenders, but was brought in nicely by Vince Panaligan. And the Titans will have a first down. Not exactly how you draw that one up, but you'll take it.
Yeah, whatever works. I mean, Panaligan showing great concentration there, sticking with that ball, even though it was tipped, I think, a couple times, like you said, Brian.
So a first down for Eastlake. The Titans drive continues. They trail by 28 here in the fourth quarter. Now 8.5 minutes to play. The clock winding down. Handoff over the right-hand side, and met in the backfield was the running back, Isaiah Strayhorn. He was hammered. The first man on the scene for St. Augustine.
I believe that was Eric Clark in there, the junior.
It looks to me like that might have been Francois Sims.
All right.
Sims, we had seen him at running back quite a bit last week, a freshman, and he's the one in there making plays, playing linebacker for St. Augustine right now.
That works, whatever works.
Getting some time in there, the freshman on both offense and defense. Clue drops back to pass, being pressured, throws it over the left-hand side. Great throw just past the leap of Panaligan, and Clue put that ball. It was a nice-looking ball in the air just out of the reach of Vince Panaligan.
And Panaligan just had maybe one step to work with on the defense as the safety was sliding over and just couldn't quite reel that one in. But this is what Eastlake has to do at this point in the game. They've got to take some shots deep down the field. They really don't have time to march on sustained drives, but they need some quick points.
And the officials will throw flags and blow whistles. There are flags flying in all over the place. And we've got an illegal substitution against St. Augustine. Mark that one off 5 yards and make this third down a little bit more manageable for Eastlake. 7:52 to play in the fourth quarter. Eastlake trailing by 28. They've got to get something going quickly here if they want to get back into this football game. Arnett Clue under center, got two receivers to the far side, one to the near side, dropping back to pass, looking to set up the screen. Nicely done to Strayhorn. Strayhorn still on his feet, makes a man miss, gets a first down and more. 15-yard pickup across midfield down to the 49. Great job by Clue there to set that one up. And Strayhorn being patient, again, like you talk about, so important on a screenplay to wait for your blockers. And Strayhorn did a nice job of that, picks up 15 and a first.
Yeah, I don't think the Saints defense was quite ready for that one, and the Titans executed that screen so well, kind of letting the defense get in on the quarterback, and Clue just dumping it over and picking up a big gain out of it. First down.
Man in motion. Clue's going to fake the handoff to that man and hand it off to the inside draw. Eastlake's had a lot of success with this. That time it's Nick Mazzella, and Mazzella will have a first down. 16 yards on the pickup for Eastlake, and the Titans offense is coming alive here. That little inside belly play has been very effective for the Titans.
Yeah, he spread the defense out with all of that motion, and then you fake the handoff, and it spreads them out a little more. And one assignment is all that needs to be missed, and hit that big hole, and another big pickup, and another first down, like you said, for this Titans offense.
Late substitution for Eastlake's. Just over 7 minutes to play in the fourth quarter. Clue under center, dropping back to pass, throwing over the left-hand side, and incomplete. Intended for Sebastian Ocampo, and it looked like Ocampo never even saw the ball, but there is a penalty flag on the play.
Yeah, not sure what happened, if that was a miscommunication. Somebody thought they were running one route, and the quarterback thought he was throwing another route.
There's a chance the officials could call a hold here. They'll call pass interference on the defense. Don't know if that ball is catchable or not, but maybe the officials are saying that the Eastlake receiver was trying to come back toward the ball, and he was grabbed by St. Augustine. So either way, it'll be a first down for the Titans, and they'll get 15 yards. And they're in business here inside the red zone down to the St. Augustine 18-yard line. 7 minutes exactly to play in the fourth quarter. Eastlake trailing by 28, needing to score now. Arnett Clue under center, puts a man in motion. And a little miscommunication there. Clue's going to have to run it over the right-hand side. He's sacked in the backfield. In there first on the play was Rock Bees for St. Augustine.
And when you see the quarterback running around and he's trying to hand the ball off to nobody, you know that's a broken play. And Clue really didn't have much to do or much to work with. And a bunch of Saints came and made him pay for it.
Pretty helpless feeling when you're the quarterback and you're expecting a back there to take the ball, and you realize this is a broken play and you're going to take a shot.
Yep.
Arnett Clue will have an opportunity to make a play now here on second down and 15. Inside belly again, and again Eastlake's going to have some room. That's Gabriel Hassoun for the Titans, and he's going to pick up about 8. A lot of success with that play.
Yeah, it looks like the Saints they've been kind of committed to the inside run until they see otherwise. So all it takes is a little reverse or motion, and then they kind of spread out and step back. They think it's going to be a pass, and then it kind of opens up that inside where that belly play is so successful.
It'll be third down and 7 for the Titans. Man in motion right to left. Clue dropping back to pass, rolling left, firing across the middle. He's got a man. Touchdown, Eastlake. Arnett Clue hooks up 15 yards on the completion to the receiver, Sebastian Ocampo. And Ocampo's got himself 6 points.
And for Eastlake here, find a little bit of success. Hopefully, they're hoping that it's not too late in this game as we're reaching the latter half of this fourth quarter.
The extra point on the way and good. So Eastlake with a great drive led by Arnett Clue coming off the bench and making plays. Sebastian Ocampo, the senior, gets the touchdown reception, and with 5:35 to play, crazier things have happened.
Yes.
The Eastlake Titans trailed by 21, but John Henry, they've got a shot here.
They've got a shot. I mean, they've got to be able to pick up this onside kick, and you see the head coach kind of talking to him now, McFadden out there, making sure he's got 11 guys. He's giving his guy the go-ahead. He said, give me a good onside kick here. This is what we've been practicing. This is where you execute, and really good composure. I wanted to go back to that drive from Clue. I mean, the senior coming out there, it looked like Eastlake was getting a little frustrated with how things were going, and slowly they saw the game kind of slipping away from him, and Clue coming in and regaining that composure, showing some leadership, and doing a good job driving his team down the field into the end zone.
Acting like a spark plug for that offense.
That's all you need.
So now we'll see what the Titans can do onside kick-wise. Junsik Yoon will do the kicking duties for the Titans. You got to imagine they're going to try an onside kick here, but
right.
They might just kick it down the field. We'll see.
They're lined up like it's just a regular kick here, but like you said, you got to imagine. Nope.
And Yoon kicks this one down the field, picked up by Morgan at the 10-yard line. Morgan stays on the near sideline on his feet out across the 25 to the 29-yard line where St. Augustine will have it 1st and 10. And I think Eastlake might have been trying to catch the Saints off guard there, but nothing doing as Morgan gets the ball out to the 29-yard line.
Yeah, I'm surprised they kicked it anywhere close to Morgan. I mean, with the damage he's done tonight and the athleticism he's shown, at least keep it out of his hands.
1st down and 10 for St. Augustine. A long sustained drive would put this one in the books. 5:30 to play in the 4th quarter, leading by 21 points.
Somebody might have 12 guys out there.
Got a penalty flag on the field.
And the Eastlake, they've got 12 guys out there, and they're all kind of looking at each other.
And we got an illegal defensive substitution called against the Titans. Into the game at quarterback, the junior Jack Hoffbauer for St. Augustine. And back at running back, the big fellow, the freshman, 5'11", 210-pounder Francois Sims. Hoffbauer under center, Sims in the backfield. A receiver to either side, a tight end to either side, and a false start, I believe. A penalty flag flying on the play. False start offense, moving back 5 yards. So we go from 1st down and 10 to 1st down and 5, back to 1st down and 10, and we're right back where we started, the 29-yard line.
No time off the clock. I mean, we're just rolling here.
Hoffbauer will bring the play call in. 5.5 minutes to play, 4th quarter. St. Augustine in command. Francois Sims, the back in the backfield. A receiver to either side, a tight end to either side. Hoffbauer under center. He will take the snap, hand it off to Sims over the left-hand side. Sims is going to be met near the line of scrimmage where he'll go down. No gain on the play, but that clock continues to move.
Got to be impressed with how this Saints team has prepared this week. I mean, we didn't get to see any practices or anything, but the losses that they had last week and then what they've been able to show tonight, they've just had some guys really step up and make plays happen, fill the big shoes, and they've been really successful tonight.
Yeah, the youngsters had to respond for St. Augustine, and they did in a big way. And they lead it by 21 late in the 4th quarter here. Clock moving. Hoffbauer under center. Hands off to Sims over the right-hand side. And the big fella trying to drag some people, but he's met just beyond the line of scrimmage. Might have got a yard on the play. And in there leading the defensive charge for the Eastlake Titans was Rogelio Maceda. 3rd down and long coming up for the Saints. 4:20 to play in the 4th quarter.
This Eastlake defense needs a big stop right here. Get the ball back off a punt.
Both teams have all of their timeouts remaining. Hoffbauer barking out the call. Hands it off to Sims again. Francois Sims is tripped up and brought down close to the 35. They might give him the 34. So it won't be enough for the first down. They'll be about 5 yards short, but the clock will continue to roll. 3:43 now and counting. St. Augustine will have to punt it away to the always dangerous Titan return team. It'll be Joe Maloof punting for St. Augustine. Deep to return, Isaiah Strayhorn for the Eastlake Titans. Ryan Herberger, the snapper for St. Augustine. And Maloof gets the punt away. It takes a St. Augustine bounce at about the 43 and marches all the way down to the 34-yard line where it will come dead. Eastlake will take over. 2:57 to play in the fourth quarter. They've got all 3 timeouts, but they've got a mountain to climb. They trail by 21 points. We will continue to see, John Henry, but we'll see Arnett Clue out there leading the offense again.
And this is the part in the game where you got to reach into that magic hat of trick plays or something where you can try to catch this defense off guard. I mean, they know that you need 3 scores, so run down the field, throw a Hail Mary, but they need some big yardage and some big plays here. They really don't have time to run the ball. Let's see if Clue can lead another quick drive down the field.
He'll hand it off, and a big hole still on his feet is Strayhorn. Strayhorn's going to take it to the house. 20, 15, 10, touchdown. And the Eastlake Titans needed to score quickly. They get that one in just under 10 seconds.
And I will happily eat my words there and say there's no way they're going to run this ball. And then, of course, they run the ball. Huge hole. That was exactly like that first play of the game where number 1, Baltazar, took it all the way to the house. And this time they called on number 29, Isaiah Strayhorn, to take it all the way to the house. And you never say never, right, Brian?
67 yards on the rushing touchdown. The second score of the game for Isaiah Strayhorn. The extra point is good. And don't look now, but the Eastlake Titans have made this a game. 2:45 to play. They've got all their timeouts left, and it's a 2-possession game.
And last time I was a little surprised not to see an onside kick by Eastlake, but hey, here we are again. You're almost guaranteed to see an onside kick. And Coach McFadden's out there again firing up the troops, telling them exactly what they need to do to get this onside kick back in their possession so they can have 2 more scores.
Well, Coach McFadden knows what he's doing better than we do up here, so that's why he's the one pulling the trigger down on the field. And it looks like he's got his team believing here. The crowd is getting fired up. The St. Augustine side, which thought they had a sure victory a second ago, are now a little bit more hushed. They've still got a 14-point cushion, but Eastlake's coming alive, and we saw the first drive of the game, Eastlake scoring 2 plays. That drive, they scored in 1 play in 10 seconds.
Yep.
2:45 to play in the fourth quarter. Unbelievable what is happening here in the late stages from Mesa College.
Now they're still lined up in a regular formation, regular kickoff formation. Not quite sure what they're going to do, and I don't think St. Augustine is either.
Yoon will kick this one deep again to the exact same spot, and Morgan will pick it up at the exact same spot. Takes it across the 20-yard line out to the 27 where he's hit hard. And Eastlake, apparently they want to get a stop here, try to get good field position so that they can go down, score quickly again, and at that point they'd have to use the onside kick.
Right. So they've got their 3 timeouts still. They need a 3 and out here and take maybe just less than a minute off the clock because they still need to make 2 scores, not just 1, but 2.
Well, St. Augustine is thinking now as they've returned Thomas Goodridge into the game. He's back in there at quarterback. They know they need at least a first down here. Sims still the back in the backfield, but Goodridge back under center. 2 tight ends, 2 receivers to either side. Goodridge and Francois Sims. Sims is going to get the carry over the left-hand side, and he's going to pick up a couple, stays in bounds. We'll call it 3 on the pickup. It'll bring up second down and 7 for St. Augustine. 2:29 to play. The clock rolling. Coach McFadden hanging on to those timeouts. He's got 3 of them. St. Augustine will want to let as much time as they can run off of the clock. They've got a 14-point lead, 2 minutes, 10 seconds now to play in the fourth quarter. Goodridge has got to be careful here to not get a delay of game penalty, or they may just be willing to take it. Instead, he gets up under center, does a great job bleeding the clock as dry as it can get, and he'll hand it off to Sims again. Francois Sims pushes forward and gets a first down. And now Eastlake's going to have to use those timeouts. What a push up front by the St. Augustine offensive line.
That offensive line and Francois and Sims' legs. I mean, he just never stopped motoring those legs, and he picked up an extra 5 yards and a first down because of it.
$1:45 to play in the fourth quarter. St. Augustine can smell it now. They lead by 14. Eastlake's got to force a turnover if they want to get this one going. Goodridge under center. Sims in the backfield. Francois is going to get the carry. He goes over the middle, hangs onto the football, so important, out to about the 44-yard line. 1:20 to play. Eastlake not using their timeouts, electing to let the clock run. 1:10 to play in the fourth quarter. St. Augustine with 2nd down and 6. And now the clock under a minute to play. So the timeouts being held for the Titans. A bit surprising. Tommy Goodridge under center. Now 45 seconds to play. Handoff Sims once again, and Francois is going to be close to another first down. That one, if it's good, will wrap this game up. 39 seconds. The officials stop the clock to move the chains, and it is going to be a St. Augustine first down. What a performance by the offensive front for the Saints. 37 seconds, the clock rolling, and Eastlake's not going to call any timeouts. St. Augustine can just take a knee on this one, and they're going to win the ball game.
St. Augustine doing such a good job of controlling this game, Brian. I mean, from the get-go, it looked like it would be Eastlake. We'd be seeing a lot of Eastlake and seeing a lot of silver helmets flying around the turf, but St. Augustine coming out strong. Like you said, ever since it was 14-7, that Saints defense and offense just kind of switched it on.
Well, that knee is going to do it as the clock runs out. Folks, we want to remind you to stay tuned for the PlayOnSports.com postgame show, where we'll select our player of the game and wrap up all the action from this ball game. That's coming up in just a few moments right here on PlayOnSports.com, as the St. Augustine Saints have defeated the Eastlake Titans 42-28 in a great performance. After St. Augustine trailed early, they came back, and it was all Saints from the second quarter on. The sophomore Thomas Goodridge had himself a heck of a game, throwing 4 touchdown tosses. St. Augustine also scored on a halfback pass and a punt return for a touchdown. So getting it going in all assets of the game, and St. Augustine really deserved this victory. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we invite you to stay tuned to PlayOnSports.com for our post-game coverage. We'll wrap up all the action and have an interview with our player of the game. That's coming up in just a few moments. Once again, the St. Augustine Saints have defeated the Eastlake Titans 42-28 on Friday Night Football on PlayOnSports.com, your destination for high school sports.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream.
Camera 3.
Beautiful. We're coming in on 1.
For more information on how your school can join the Play On School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
Welcome back to the PlayOnSports.com postgame show. I'm standing here with our player of the game from the victorious St. Augustine Saints, the quarterback, sophomore, Thomas Goodridge. And Thomas, in your first ever start at the varsity level, going up against such a great team in Eastlake, what was going through your mind before today?
I just came in, wanted to take charge, make sure everybody's doing their job. And, I've been preparing for this all week, watching a lot of film, quarterback coach really coaching me up, and felt I was really ready.
4 touchdown passes on the evening. Could you have imagined it going any better in a victory over a top 10 team in the county? Could you imagine anything more?
No, it was a great game. O-line did great, gave me a really good time back there, and receivers made some really nice catches down there, and I just thought we were pretty clutch tonight.
Well, you came in last week, got an opportunity when JoJo Hudson went down with a concussion, almost brought your team back from a 15-point fourth-quarter deficit. What was the mood like this week in practice, knowing that you guys let one get away last week? What was it like in the atmosphere this week?
We really wanted to get after it. We really wanted to get Eastlake this week, wanted to rebound from a loss, and really high tempo this week and really pushing it in practice and going all out.
Well, you guys had a rather inexperienced backfield with Tristan Juarez getting his first start at running back and then a couple of freshmen behind him. You as a sophomore, how big is that to have a center like Ben Pierkowski and an offensive line that's so experienced when the backfield might not be as experienced?
It's so great. Ben takes great control out there, calling all the blocks. He's a great center. And the O-line, James Philly, Austin Hyatt, Cole Habib, Danny Flanagan, they all did great. They all know what they're doing out there and make some key blocks to get big holes open for our running backs that are new. But, they're doing well. They're doing great.
Well, an almost flawless performance and a 42-28 victory. How does this feel? How does this guy set you guys up as you go into league play, now 4-1 on the season? Is this something that you can use as a catalyst for the rest of your season?
Oh, yeah. Big momentum boost for us tonight. And I feel like we can really take it into San Diego next week. And then once league starts, we can really get it going and hopefully win the league.
Well, congratulations once again to Thomas Goodridge, our PlayOnSports.com player of the game, and the St. Augustine Saints, a 42-28 winner over the Eastlake Titans. Folks, don't go anywhere. The PlayOnSports.com postgame show will continue in just a moment. Welcome back to the PlayOnSports.com postgame show, coming to you live from San Diego, California, and Mesa College, where the St. Augustine Saints have just defeated the Eastlake Titans 42-28 on Friday Night Football on PlayOnSports.com. We just heard from our player of the game, Thomas Goodridge, the sophomore quarterback, pressed into starting duties this week and just played a phenomenal game. 4 touchdown passes for the sophomore in his debut in a victory for St. Augustine.
I mean, unbelievable. And even talking to him afterward, you could just tell his poise and his composure that he was able to show on that field and lead the youngsters and some of the the veterans as well to victory.
Well, in the early goings, Aaron Baltazar, the big premier back for Eastlake, after his first carry was a touchdown on the second play from scrimmage for Eastlake, it seemed like that was going to be the theme. Quick scores for the Titans, but the St. Augustine defense really buckled down and stopped Eastlake for the most part after that point.
Yeah, it was very impressive to see a team that scores 40, 50 points a game put up 21 points. And it's not often that's going to happen this season. So you got to give credit to the Saints defensive line and linebackers for filling those gaps, and then the secondary for taking care of the rest.
Well, you got to love when the quarterback, Thomas Goodrich, when we were talking to him, he went through and named every single offensive lineman.
Of course.
That's something that you got to love. A sophomore comes in there. We were talking about it during the game. It didn't seem like the game ever got to him. He was very composed and saying something like that, he's got the whole drill down.
Yeah, no, he's a team player. I mean, that was the difference, I think, putting him in there. He knew he wasn't out there alone. He had the confidence of the coaches. He had the confidence of his teammates, and he had the confidence in them and from them. So.
Well, it was a big non-league win for St. Augustine. For Eastlake, coming in maybe a little bit overconfident, knowing that they're playing against some guys with a little bit less experience, but the Titans have a tough road ahead of them in that Metro Mesa League, a lot of really good teams down there. What's something that the Titans can take from this and use it as a positive going forward?
Well, I think the Saints are a good team. I mean, whether you have freshmen and sophomores in there or the seniors that got hurt last week, they didn't lose to a second-class team. They did play a great game. I felt like there were a few opportunities that they had that they maybe missed and a few mistakes that really cost them. Right in the middle of the game where you kind of felt the momentum changing after they were up 7-14. And they have a lot to learn from this game, but they also have a lot to take away from it.
And for St. Augustine, there were a lot of questions coming in, but now moving forward, it's kind of the youth movement here for St. Augustine. How can they apply this as they move forward in the season? 4-1, about to head into league play, one more non-league matchup, and then go into that tough Eastern League.
I mean, they've got such depth in this team. Some teams, when they lose a quarterback, when they lose a running back, or both in the same week, they try to rebuild. This team just stepped in. We had 2, 3, 4 guys out there who are not regulars in very key spots. The defense stepped up, and I think just confidence and really playing as a team, not even looking to one guy or a couple guys, but the guy behind him too.
Well, folks, that's going to wrap it up from Mesa College, where the St. Augustine Saints have defeated the Eastlake Titans 42-28. For our producer, Finn Prendergast, our videographer, Jared Nelson, and my partner, John Henry Winter-Nolte, I'm Brian Vilvin saying so long, and we hope you'll join us next time on your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.